Hello, welcome to TPK Roleplay. I'm your Game Master Phzoul, and tonight we will hopefully be concluding 55 Below Zero and 6 Feet from Hell. During the last session, our heroes had to deal with the aftermath of a horrendous helicopter crash that killed many of their fellow companions at Ross Station. The death of Robin Bonds, in particular, seemed to be life-changing. It seemed to be a life-changing event for one of our characters. But the horror didn't end there, because the crash was the result of sabotage by one of their own, Catherine Mickelson, who has come to a bad end. But she appears to be allied with mysterious armed soldiers bearing the infamous logo of the Nazi SS, which brings me to trigger warnings. This adventure is absolutely fictional, tied to fictional events, but it does feature the very real evil that was the Third Reich. So if that makes you uncomfortable, just think about this. I'll be dealing with them kind of similar to how Indiana Jones might deal with them, just as a point of reference. Also, this is a horror adventure, so it's going to include violence, gore, stressful situations, and a happy ending is absolutely not going to be guaranteed. Hopefully, but it's not going to be guaranteed. And with that, let's have our players introduce themselves, I guess, in overlay order.
Okay. That would be me. Hi, everyone. I'm Luke Locke, and today I am playing Niamh Millar, the microbiologist, just bent on surviving this.
Hey folks, it's Alder Biffa. I'm playing Lucian Abigail Popperweight, the bizarrely over-the-top sort of son of philanthropists that are funding the mission that has been sent here to basically keep him out of the way. And he has done everything to not to live up to that and be as much mischief as possible. But we'll see what we get into tonight. And I'll pass over to Ty.
Hi everyone, I'm Tyrant. You can find me everywhere at Dr. Tyrant. I will be playing Jim Harper, who is totally not based off of John Krasinski's Jack Ryan. There is no relation whatsoever. But he is a CIA agent, and he is here now. I think his mission has probably changed to probably stopping the Third Reich.
Hey everyone, Ikaj the Orc here, playing Maksim Syuznik, Russian wilderness expert and security guide. Ready to just dive into whatever this madness has become.
Fantastic. All right. So where we last left off, you were standing over the bodies of a couple of soldiers, but they had modern equipment. But you did, after searching them, you found that each bore the insignia of the Nazi SS. Gibbs kind of looks at everyone, and he's like, "Am I dreaming this?"
Yeah. This is, I thought Cronenberg's dinosaurs would be the weirdest thing that I would experience here. And then Nazis. What even the hell?
Well, he gives you a look, Jim, because obviously you're the intelligence guy. He's like, "Tell me you people didn't know about this."
That is a good question. That is a great question, GM. Does Jim know about any Third Reich operations in
No.
times?
However, you can. You probably no, you don't. But there was an operation. Just let me. U.S. post-war. Know this?
So James did not see this coming?
No. So there was, back in the following World War II, there was an operation called Operation High Jump, where a fairly large U.S. force, this is actually a true event, went to Antarctica on training exercises. The rumor mill is that they went there looking for Nazis because intelligence had indicated that they had a base there, but it was never, as far as you know, it was never discovered. And Operation High Jump ended in essentially a failure.
No, I had no idea that this would happen. It's Nazis. This is not an Indiana Jones movie. It is real life.
I was figuring more John Carpenter.
Right, but
As the three of you are kind of huddled, Russell walks over to Lucian, whose untimely arrival kind of saved his life. It distracted Catherine Mickelson long enough that Gibbs could take her down. And he comes over, and he'll actually give you a hug. He's like,
Crumbs. I say, I'm jolly grateful I'm here as well, old chap. But this is rather friendly.
He says, I need a drink. And this is his workshop, so he actually knows exactly where the bottles are. So he'll fish around, grab one, and he'll kind of down half of it before he hands it to you.
Did the soldiers have anything on them, like their guns and whatnot?
Yeah, they had sidearms. They had assault rifles. Standard military gear. Gibbs will take a look at them. He'll kind of, especially he'll check out their hands and things like that, and he'll actually conclude. He goes, well, they got the gear, they got the tattoo, but they're not regular. He says they're not full-blown soldiers. Calluses, they don't have the calluses for it. He goes, my guess is, I don't know, some type of paramilitary. They get enough training to be lethal, but they're no special forces.
right. So, enemy insurgents typically, especially we find in like the Taliban with recruits, if they
Weekend warriors, he would say. That's my guess. That said, I don't like this. He's like, I think he'll look towards you, Jim, says you were kind of the authority. He goes, we need to know what's going on at Smolensk.
Yes, I agree. Now that seemingly the danger is, well, the internal danger is gone here, we should set up an expedition to Smolensk.
And Niamh, what are you doing at this point in time? I know you were driving like crazy. You were kind of, you were very determined to survive. In the aftermath of this, you can hear what they're saying.
I think at this point I am listening and just looking around us. I feel like I've gone a little bit like fight or flight mode, and I am just in survival. So I'm very like high alert, looking around us, listening to them, and just trying to be aware of everything.
Well, Gibbs turns towards you and he's like, I know you're a scientist, but you're a hell of a driver. He goes,
thank you.
You in? You willing to see this through?
I do think we need to find out what is going on. Otherwise, we will not be able to resolve this. So I'm in to investigate this further. We need to get out of here somehow.
Then I say there's no time to waste, Jim.
Agreed.
These people,
right.
These two, and Mickelson, they're going to be noticed as missing sooner or later.
Lucian, Maxim, are you going to join us?
My father helped to put down the Nazis many years ago. I will not miss out on this.
My father helped to do the paperwork that made someone else put down the Nazis many years ago. I think we need to show the Bosch what for. Hey!
Russell, and you'll notice that I believe Lucian is still holding a gun, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm ready to go now. Right now.
Russell, he's like, do you hear yourself? He goes, you can count me out. I mean, I almost died there. I'm not risking my neck.
That is
Come
all
on, Russell.
fine.
It'd be like old
Russell.
times. We're a right pair, aren't we? Come on.
We will need someone to stay and protect this location.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah.
Let us not forget he's still Jurassic Park out there.
Yes. Do not leave the station. Russell, you're probably the best person to lock down the station. having your experience in mechanics and whatnot.
Yeah, you got it. So you're putting me in charge, right? That's what I'm hearing.
Let me clarify. With the GM here, who was left? Because I think a lot of people died in the helicopter crash, right?
Yeah, there's a few. So Frankie is left. You've got the doctor. Alionov is Aliona is here. So she actually she was listening as well. She's like, I have friends at Smolensk. I can't stay. I'm going with you. So Russell, I mean, there's a handful of survivors left, but yeah, there are a lot of dead people.
And I'm assuming Russell would probably be the senior member.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
All feelings.
He's a bit of a jerk, but you know that he's competent.
Yeah. All feelings aside, yes, Russell, you are in charge, but that means I am entrusting everyone here is entrusting you to keep everyone safe. So
you got it. I'll lock this place down.
Good work, Russell, on your promotion. Excellent work, old chap. I probably shouldn't have clapped with that in my hand. Never mind. Well, excellent work. I'm sure you'll do a jolly good job.
Yeah, well, good luck, Lucian. Listen, you can forget about the tab.
Oh, no. It's all part of the experience. I'll make sure we're all ticked off and squared away with Daddy. I shouldn't worry too much about it. I will be home for tea and crumpets before long. I'm sure of things.
Well, Gibbs goes, all right, I say we leave in 10. Grab what you need. Let's pile up. He'll turn to you, Jim. He goes, maybe we should take their rover. That way,
yes.
When we approach, it'll look like Fenley's coming home.
I agree. Also, we could don their uniforms.
Good idea.
Or at least bring them with us to don later.
Does anybody speak German?
Elianov will say, she's like, I'm competent. I mean, obviously, she says, I'm not sure I could, if you're asking whether I could pretend I'm German, no, I'm afraid not.
At some point, we established that I could speak German. Is that
I think we did.
correct?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah, you're right.
Okay.
Yeah.
But also, you said grab whatever you need. I would like to assume I still have that little, like, travel science kit that I packed with...
Yep.
Okay. I would also like to, if there's any sort of, like, those metallic keep warm blankets or you know, any of that, like, anything to keep warm, some sort of, like, rations or something... Since we're about to travel the open Arctic to go to another outpost, I feel like I'm just going to try and go Boy Scout here and prepare.
Absolutely. So you can bring extra. So the rovers typically would have a survival kit in them, but it doesn't hurt to have a second one. So you can load up all that stuff. I'm assuming you'll gather up all of the weapons from these guys. You might leave Russell. You might leave a couple of weapons for the people that are staying.
What are these weapons specifically?
So basically they have G36 assault rifles. So basically your damage on that 30 round clips, so they would have extra clips. Mind you, they have silenced pistols, which could come in useful. 9 millimeters. So the pistols will do 3x10 plus 20, and the rifles will do 4x10 plus 40 with burst rolls, which I'll remind you when you need them.
We should, especially if we're going to be impersonating these people, we should definitely take these weapons.
Yep, you can take their gear. One of them also has a pistol grip shotgun they were going to use it for breaching in case they had to go through doors. So you can.
Well, I know Maxine got a silence rifle that was in there.
That's right. Oh yeah, the sniping rifle. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Oh, a sniper rifle? Oh, nice.
Yeah. So without further ado, you load up your gear on the all-track, and I assume Niamh, you're behind the wheel.
Have we seen any...
Yeah, I'm just driving wherever I need to go. Like, I assume I know the direction, or someone has told me the direction to go.
Yep. Yeah, there would be you would have maps and compasses and all that stuff. I think no,
Okay.
actually, there's the GPS is available at this point in time, but I don't know. I
Okay.
don't think it's widely available. Uh, but yeah, and I think Maxime, you were going to ask about the prowlers. You don't see any sign of them, but they're probably. I mean, there a fair number of them have been killed, but yeah, they definitely
Yeah.
could still pose a threat. So you'll
As everyone is loading up, Maxime comes up with the two Nazis like fireman style on his shoulders, and he just like puts them in back. It's like, never know when you might need bait. He's only good that the Nazis are for.
Yes.
Oh, true. I see puppeteering. Yes, it could work. I think it's rather clever.
He's
taking-
more of a distraction snack.
Taking stock.
a lot of good
Taking stock very quick.
continuity here. So you have their gear. You all load up in their rover, and you head back. You start your truck into the darkness towards Smolensk. You don't run into you may catch a few glimpses, but you don't run into any problems with prowlers. And the hours begin to tick by. Yeah, you're at the wheel. You're at the wheel, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm at the wheel, just driving, keeping my eye out as best I can. I don't know, what are the conditions?
It's not too bad. It's night
Okay.
because you're in that time of year where it's perpetual darkness.
Yeah.
There's some blowing snow, but it's actually a fairly clear night. Above in the sky, you can see the aurora australis lights casting its eerie green glow across the landscape. But so there's a positive and a negative here. One is that visibility is pretty good. You're going to be able to see Smolensk and anything that's going on. The downside is they'll probably see your tractor approaching, especially if you have the lights on. Turning the lights off might increase increase the odds of them not noticing you. Really depends on how thorough, I guess, their sentries are. It's about a 6-hour drive, so you're about 5 hours into it. When Gibbs is like, "So we just driving in there?"
We are driving in their rover, and a few of us have their coats on. I can turn off the lights if you think that it would increase our chances of
Well, that
approaching.
depends. If we're going to pretend we're friendlies, then we would approach as per normal, right? We get suited up in their stuff. Whoever comes out to greet us, we just get the drop on them.
Yeah, I think that's probably the best approach. If we try and do lights off, I assume they'll at least hear us before we're able to get too close.
Well, there's also the option of abandoning the all traps before we come into range.
Going in on foot, yeah. Assuming that there's none of those things around, that's a good idea.
That
Yeah,
would be the thing I worried most about.
I do worry about the other elements involved in this.
Right.
Well, listen. How many of them could there be?
That, I mean,
As of a few hours
a
ago,
very
we did
large
not
amount.
think any.
exactly. The number is growing exponentially from what we thought existed mere days ago.
All right. Well, let's. All right. Well,
What-
let's just play this by ear. You'll
What we
say.
could do is we could have a couple. I think a couple of us. Miller, I think you dressed up and you speak German somewhat, so maybe you can
Yep.
say something as approach. But what else I could do is elemental surprise. I could get on top of Rover, and
Good idea. Lights will
We-
blind them.
with the rifle and just in case.
Is it silenced?
I believe so. So it's a silent sniper rifle?
Yep. It's a fully outfitted, even has some night vision optics.
Oh,
I had something similar back in my days of Siberia. I think I can take care of these.
if Niamh, if Lucian, and is it Taliana,
Eliana, yep.
Eliana, if you dress up as the Nazis, Trojan horse it, Gibbs and I can go in and flank, and Maxim, you can provide overwatch for the meetup.
Okay.
Okay.
So you can don't put on the gear. You can stop before you get close to Smolensk. Put on the gear, and you'll probably, when you get within a couple miles, Maxim, you can climb out onto the roof. But before that happens, as you're driving along, Niamh, you're kind of you've been behind the wheel now for about 5.5 hours. You're drawing pretty close to Smolensk. You're feeling a little bit tired. The kind of snow is blowing a bit, but the lights suddenly reflect on something very colorful, and you just instinctively hit the brakes as there is a 10-foot plant growing out of the ice in the beam of your headlights. It's very colorful, strange looking, has these what look like maybe fruit on top. You've never seen anything like it, especially here in Antarctica.
Yeah.
And you're about
All right, I'm gonna
5 miles.
slow the rover,
Yep.
and I'm gonna look at everyone and just say, we've had incredibly bizarre fauna appear, and now we have bizarre flora appearing. I think it is best, if I am going to figure out what's going on, that I take a sample of this plant. However, I do not know if this plant has any sort of defense mechanisms, what type of plant it is. So if one of you could be ready to drive away, that would be great.
Am I on top at this point?
We'll say you're on top. So you got Overwatch on the plant.
What is
Dude,
the
at this
drug-
point, I am worried that this plant is like one of those, it's like the light that dangles down from the big
Yeah.
fish with the teeth. Do you know what I mean? And
Well-
it's just gonna burst up out of the ice.
Well, I'll tell you, as you're watching it, so there's only one plant. It's about 10 feet tall. Its roots have extended out across the ice, so it's anchored itself. One of the things that you will note, no observation roll required, is that it definitely leans. So you know how plants, you wouldn't notice them moving, but they turn their leaves towards the light. This thing leans kind of, it almost like it shifts position to catch more of the light coming from your headlights, believing that it's sunlight, you figure.
I'm going to approach very slowly, and I'm going to scoop down and pick up some snow and
Yep.
just kind of form it into a loose snowball.
Yep.
And lob it at this thing.
You can lob it, the snow impacts it, and it doesn't react. It reacts to the light, but not to being hit. However, when you hit it, one of the fruit will fall away and fall onto the ground and kind of roll towards you.
Maxim's gonna keep an eye on that.
All right, I'm going to get out of my pack any of the containers that I'm sure are part of the science kit I have, and just try and scoop up this fruit if possible into a container.
You pull out a bag. You can absolutely get it scooped up, and it doesn't make any threatening moves towards you. But you can give me I guess a science roll.
Okay. Where's my science?
I would say the
Science,
odds,
there we are.
the base odds, we'll say it's just 50. So it's
Yeah, I'm
probably-
30% on science, so
You have an 80% chance of success then. Yeah.
I rolled an 89.
Oh my god. You do? Okay, so Luca
You know
has a
what? Hold on. I
-2.
would like to use one of my experience points that I have not utilized yet.
Okay. All right.
plan.
Yeah. So basically, you gather up the fruit. You probably know enough about plants. Like it does share. Obviously it has fruit. It has leaves. But your quick assessment of it, as you're looking at it, you can actually see the roots are actually moving to some extent. They're reaching out. They're grasping around. The leaves are kind of pivoting a bit towards the light. This plant is dying. It's not supposed to be here.
Huh.
Like it's
Okay.
up here in the middle of the ice field, and it appears to be. I mean, its actions or would be the actions of. It's definitely more mobile than a plant you're used to, but its actions are ones of desperation, not threatening.
Well, don't make me feel bad for this plant.
Sorry.
This thing's gonna go Night of the Trifids on us so quick.
I know. Okay. Does it? It looks like it. Like how? Using my knowledge as a microbiologist, do I have any idea of how this plant came to be here? Did it travel via spore? Was it planted via seed?
So you spent your experience point. No, it appears to have been uprooted and dropped here. That would be your assessment. Like its roots are now. It's standing upright because it extended its roots and it latched to the ice, so it stabilized itself. But this environment, and it's miraculous that it's surviving as long as it has. Now I remind you, remember the creatures. Remember, you did some analysis on their metabolism, and they were able to adapt their metabolism, even though they're not from a cold environment. They were able to burn extra energy in order to survive in the cold. You get the impression this plant is doing the same thing. It's essentially it's changing its biochemistry to adapt to the environment, but it's not going to be enough. This plant is going to die once its energy runs out because there's no sunlight to replenish it. However, you theorize if there was sunlight, this plant might actually survive here. But it needs energy.
Mm-hmm.
So you have the fruit.
Uh-huh.
It might take days, but it's going to die. That's a certainty.
Anything
Okay,
interesting, Niamh?
Yeah, I'm gonna walk back to the rover and be like, it has seemed to have been uprooted and placed here.
Hmm.
And I would like to, before we continue on to whatever is about to happen at Smolensk, I would like to just really quickly check something.
Okay.
Can I lay out just on like some hard packed snow here and slice open this fruit?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. You can definitely do that. Is it time for a skull die? Somebody want to randomly roll a die 6?
I think Luca.
You not want a 1.
Oh god.
This is just like when me and Mummy went for a picnic up at Kew Gardens at Christmas time.
Oh. I got a 6. I got a 6.
All right.
I got
Nice.
a 6.
Yeah, so you cut it open. Inside, it's probably like a watermelon. There would be some, the flesh, kind of a reddish flesh of the fruit. But at the center, it's as opposed to being like an apricot or where you have one big stone, or a watermelon where they're dispersed. At the center would be like if I took 1,000 seeds, smushed them into a ball, and put them in the center, and then the fruit is around it. So very unusual, but no adverse effects. And you want to eat it?
And they do appear to be seeds and not. Man, half of me was expecting an egg.
No, this is a plant. It is, but it's not a plant that you've ever seen, and it
seems to have the ability to seed at a high.
That's right,
rate.
and it also, like I said, has that ability to move a bit slowly, right? But
So would I classify this as like an aggressive, like spreading plant? The name for it escapes me right now.
Oh yeah, an invasive species.
Yes.
Oh yeah, quite possibly. Yeah, and of course the seeds are going to be preserved once it freezes. Yeah, so if you count the fruit, let's say there's 30 fruit. Let's say
and
there's
then the sheer amount of seeds, the fact that it's mobile and adaptable.
Yeah, it'd be 30,000 seeds. Oh, in a non-Arctic environment with sunlight.
Yeah.
This thing would alter its biochemistry to survive.
Yeah, and okay, it would be an incredibly invasive species.
Potentially.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna just One theory debunked. That's great. You know, process of elimination. We're doing the scientific method here. I've managed to disprove my own theory, which is the most exciting thing a scientist can do. So I am going to put all that back into a container, so that the seeds and everything, like anything that I could look at under a microscope to see, like the makeup of this plant, I would like to preserve, and I'll pack that up carefully and get back into the rover.
Okay, and you can navigate your way around the plant and head on to Smolensk. Alionov looks at you, Akaj. She's like, there's nothing was happening at Smolensk even remotely close to this type of research. I mean, she's very confused. And she'll sell that to the group. Yeah.
Yeah, I do not know. I was here to keep polar bears and rabid penguins away. This is Nazis and Cronenberg dinosaurs was not expected.
So with Maxim on the roof, everybody else ready. We've got I guess Lucian, you're dressed in one of the Nazi uniforms.
Yes, I've got my costume on. Don't worry.
Along with Elionov. As you crest kind of an ice ridge, you can see Smolensk Station up ahead. It is under power, so you'll see the lights. It appears to be fully powered. The thing that is unexpected is the cargo plane that is sitting just beside the station. Exceptionally unusual, very risky kind of landing, but somebody has landed a military-style cargo plane at this location.
Can Maxime kind of use the scope on the rifle to get a better look?
Yep, you can take a look. Give me an observation roll, please.
That is a 25.
Yeah, that's a great roll. So you scan around, so you don't see any signs of activity. So it's not like there's no snowmobiles moving around, nobody outside working, and the place appears dormant. However, with a 25. You can note that someone is in one of the windows of the station with binoculars, looking basically at the approaching tractor.
Okay. But I've got the lights next to me, so I'm kind of blinded out. Probably.
Oh yeah, they would not see you at all. No, all they would see is the glare of the light from the headlamps. So the place appears to be relatively deserted.
Are walkies going off that we got from them?
They're not.
Okay.
So the figure in the window will disappear.
What are we seeing? She's gonna speak to the group, and I assume I can't really talk to Maxim.
We have a separate frequency.
You would have radio.
Okay, it's what are we saying, Maxim?
I'm gonna guess maybe the Nazis that we had at the base had the little ear.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So I'll say Maxim took one of those, and he's like, no one is about. The cargo plane does not show any activity. There was someone with the binoculars looking at us in the window.
Leonov goes, that cargo plane isn't us. I don't know where that came from.
Yet he was not there last time we were here.
Do you want me to approach the building or go up closer to the cargo plane?
How close are we at this point right now?
I'll say you're on the ice ridge. I'll say it lies maybe half a mile ahead.
And any terrifying non-human-esque?
No, it appears relatively normal, quiet. And you have good visibility, so you don't see anything that would raise alarm bells.
Maxime, you said they aren't looking at us anymore, correct?
Yet they were looking in binoculars, but they left the window. I've lost vision on them.
Gibbs, we should exit as they approach.
All right, let's do it. And he's got cold weather training, so this is no problem for him. So he will grab his gear and roll away from the tractor.
Yeah. And, to be clear, I'm making sure that Gibbs and I both have silence pistols.
Okay. Yep. and you can basically sprint across. The great thing is that the glare from the tractor and stuff, to notice the two of you running across the snowfield, probably pretty slim. In fact, I won't even require a roll in this situation. So Niamh, you bring the tractor up. It comes to a stop. I'm assuming you'll stop near one of the entrances to the station.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of looking towards Maksim to like direct where he wants me to go since he's got oversight. But other than that, I'll just pull up in like what seems like a natural place where one of these, since we're trying to be friendly, it's like what seems the most natural place to pull up this rover.
Yep. And and you're driving the tractor, and whoever's here is obviously so arrogant or confident in the success of the mission that they didn't even there's no real radio contact. In fact, when you pull up, the door to the station will open, and there will be one person steps out onto the deck. He is in military uniforms. He does have an assault rifle in his hand, and he's kind of standing like that. He has the rifle in his hand, but he's standing there. Looks like he's waiting for someone to exit, waiting for you to exit the tractor.
I'm going to tell Gibbs as we're approaching. Rules of engagement applied. Do not fire until we know that it's a Nazi.
Maksim has like zeroed in on him.
Yeah, got zeroed in on him. And you and Jim, you and Gibbs have flanking positions. You have good sights on him as well. Gibbs will be on the radio. He's like, "Does that look like a Nazi to you?"
I would like to look over at Harper and just be like, "They look like everyone else."
Can I like check if there's any insignias or anything on his?
So he's obviously you're the tractor sitting there. Do you shut it down? Yeah.
I think I'm gonna leave
The lights. He's holding up his hands. He's giving you a signal, like cut the lights.
Yeah, I'll dim. Is there like a driving lights mode where you just do like,
well,
do the like?
There's probably like heavy floodlights and.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull up my hood, and I will
gonna, like shift back a little.
Open the door like I'm getting out.
Give me Maxime. Give me a hiding roll.
17.
Yeah, that's a great roll. So you can kind of shift your way back. Niamh leaves like enough lights on that it doesn't blind him, but it conceals you.
Yeah, that's my intent is to leave the lights on to hide him, but seem like I'm complying.
So Lucian, are you getting out of the tractor?
So Lucian's going to lean through into the like front cabin from the back and just see this man where he's going to be in there going, "Hello, hello."
He comes walking down. Well, you're inside are you getting out of the tractor?
Yeah, and then he'll like pop
gonna
out the
open
back.
the door so like it seems like we're getting out.
And when he sees you pop out, he kind of relaxes a little bit, and because he was getting his kind of danger sense was going up a bit, and he'll step down the couple of steps, and he says something in German to you, Lucian. Niamh, what you hear, he's like, "Is it done? Did you extract Mikkelsen?"
He'll just look at him and smile, and then just start goose-stepping towards him.
I'm assuming you're wearing the baklava, so you won't see your smile, but and he goes, but he will. You'll notice his finger slips towards the trigger again. He goes, because he notices that you're wearing the baklava, which is a bit, again, you're not on an operation yet. He goes, "Where's Mikkelsen?"
Hey,
Jim will motion to
I think
Gibbs.
it's time to act on this.
All right. So what?
Victim.
Sorry. What were the roles of engagement? Was it to kill him or to just try to take him down?
Well, that's what I'm changing right now.
Okay.
Assuming that both Jim and Gibbs know just standard military or special ops like motions or whatever, Jim is going to motion to Gibbs to do a pinch takedown. So both of us move in and disable, not kill.
Oh yeah, you're not going to shoot him. You're basically going to rush him and kind of tackle him to the ground.
Yeah.
Okay. So as you're about to do that, the soldier, he's like, you'll see his hand firmly grips around the assault rifle. He brings it up halfway, and he's like, take off your mask. And that's when you guys are going to make a move. So I am going to give you initiative. However, you still have to take him down. This would be melee. Would be using to bet. You know what? Maybe I will give you as you kind of rush him. There are some lights around. You do have to cross a little bit of distance. Give me one hiding roll, but I will make so Jim, give me a hiding roll, and I will make it 50%. So your odds are probably pretty good. And if you fail it, we will roll. We might have to roll initiative.
50%. Oh, okay. I rolled a 62, which is 70.
Yeah, you have a 70% chance.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he doesn't quite see you. So go ahead, give me your melee roll. Again.
Is that a 50 as well?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Can I give
fact,
the melee roll?
I'll give you a +10 bonus, so it's basis because there's two of you, so he's distracted, but also you kind of got the jump on him.
Okay. 44. All right.
So all of a sudden, you come out from behind. There's other tractors parked here. You rush out from behind one. He swings. He tries to bring the gun up towards you, but you're on him, and you kind of grab him from the front, and Gibbs is in from behind because you have him covered. But the two of you, especially with Gibbs' training, he's on the ground and disarmed. He'll be cursing in German, but Gibbs will give him a smack with his rifle just to shut him up.
Yeah, put him out right now.
And Gibbs kind of once he's down and he has him secured, Gibbs immediately comes up with the rifle because he's expecting more maybe to be coming out the door, but no one does. It's quiet.
He's a little too quiet.
Jim is going to thoroughly pour over the gear and any items this person has on their possession.
Yeah, so he's a pistol, assault rifle, much like the others. He probably has a radio on him, but other than that, not too much. Yeah. He's not even wearing cold weather gear because he was inside. He just came out, so you guys can drag him to his feet.
And binoculars, right?
Yeah, and he probably left them inside. And Gibbs will motion towards the door, and he's kind of standard entry procedure. He's inside, and you can kind of hear over your. I assume you're right on his. Gibbs will turn to you and he goes, "Lucian, sit on him."
Oh, is that clever military slang, or do you mean
quite literally sit on him?
Oh.
And she's like, you sit on his feet, I'll sit on his shoulders.
Breach and clear with Gibbs.
Yeah, and when you come in, you're not met with anyone. In fact, as you're going from room to room, you realize that essentially the place appears to be empty. Are you doing you're doing a very quick kind of thorough? You're just going to quickly go through. You will run into a couple of things of note just as you quickly check doors. One is there is a lab, and you are taken aback when you open it up because one of the large dinosaur-like creatures is actually on a dissecting table, and it is partially dissected. That kind of takes you aback, but it is quite dead. And you'll find another door which is locked. Gibbs he'll just kick it in, as opposed to being eloquent or anything. And inside, cowering up against the back wall, is is a guy just kind of in sweats. He's like, "Don't shoot, please."
Accent.
Russian.
Oh. Jim, I feel like Jim would know Russian.
Probably would know some of it. Yeah.
So Jim's going to very aggressively and assertively tell this man to get down on the floor.
He will. He'll
Hold
get
down
down.
his head. We'll rope him up and sit him in a corner. Continue to clear.
Entire station is clear.
Okay.
There's no one else here.
Do you want me up here still, or?
Maxim, make sure our new guest prisoner is properly secured, and then we have a Russian in here for you to identify.
Yes.
Yeah. So does everyone want to move inside?
Right. I think we'll take our new prisoner with us.
Okay. Yep. You can drag him inside, tie him to a chair or something. Niamh, are you going in?
Yes, though, man, I've started to feel just so safe in this rover. But yes, I will follow. Like, I'm not gonna stay out here alone, like, unless we're like trying to go, but I will come in because I need to find answers.
You're feeling kind of vulnerable leaving the rover, but that kind of fades away as soon as you see the laboratory.
Yeah, no, I think upon seeing that, if everyone else seems relatively secure in this building, I would go in and like immediately put on a mask and gloves and try and find out what they were doing.
In the command center, there is some radio gear set up on a table, plus maps of the area, satellite maps, spread out on a table, just for you intelligence folks. Shepard is secured. You haven't checked all of the outbuildings, but as soon as Roman sees you, Maxim, you know he's one of the. He's kind of like the Russell of Smolensk. He's a maintenance guy. He keeps everything going.
All right, so
He's like, Ikaj.
Maxim, I have no idea who Ikaj is.
Oh, sorry. Maxim. Oops, that's me.
So you say Maxim in Russian.
Should be a cookie jar where I put in a quarter. So he goes, Maxim. He goes, thank God, Alionov. Oh, and he's quite upset. It takes him a few minutes to kind of calm down, and he goes, oh, they arrived. They took everyone. I think they must be in one of the outer buildings. Quick, we must save them. I haven't seen anyone in at least a day.
Do you know which building they are in?
I don't. But he'll grab a parka and he just storms out the door. He's again, he's not really thinking about safety or anything. He just kind of open. He doesn't even close the door behind him.
Oh, did someone untie him?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, he is. I'm just sorry. Would you have untied him? This would happen after you untie him. Alionov will untie him unless Jim, you say no. She's like, we know him. It's Roman.
Could he be working with the Germans?
Just because you had a spy doesn't mean we had one. We're Russian. We would never betray our country.
We do the spying.
That's right. He goes, please, we need to find the others, he'll say.
All right.
How many outer buildings are there, like other than the one that we're in?
There's some containers. There's essentially 3, a power station, a couple of garages. So Jim, if you absolutely do not want Roman to be released, he won't be, but he will become. He's becoming increasingly irritated at the fact that nobody is looking for his friends.
Let's him go. He should be fine. Maxim,
he goes tearing off. Alionov will run after him. Does anyone go with him, or is he just leaving him?
Gibbs, please keep an eye on the other prisoner, and Jim will go investigate the other buildings as well.
Yeah, same.
So Gibbs turns to you, Lucian. He goes, "Why don't you have a chat with our friend here? After 10 minutes with you, he's going to tell us anything."
Well, I think that's perfectly acceptable. I've got some rather interesting theories about this entire expedition. You see, there are all these jolly nasty German folks knocking about the place, being big old rotters, but someone mentioned that they weren't proper ones, almost like jumped up ones, which I thought was rather strange. On the way here, we found a rather fancy plant that was very fruity and tropical, and I thought perhaps people wanted to push people off of little tiny islands. And when I thought about the Argentinians, and well, I do have a record of this sort of thing. They are pretty fruity, and
So he absolutely he's like, someone get this guy away from me. And you can go on and definitely annoy him. Niamh, when you're in there, you can give me a science roll, but also you note that sitting on a table beside the corpse of the creature is kind of a dictaphone. It's like a voice recorder.
Yes. Absolutely playing that. Also, I don't know what we're going against, but I rolled a 64.
Yeah, so base would be 50. You actually
So I've
see
got 30 science,
yeah.
so we're good.
So there are some containers here with those little crawlers, bugs in them. They're alive. A few are dissected, but they're alive.
Okay.
And when you play the recording, you can see whoever has done this has done quite a good job at dissecting the creature. The recording says when you play it is in German, but you can understand it. I know that Shepard is pissed that Dr. Gerber had not considered the possibility of peripheral gate events. It is the only explanation as to how these creatures got out. While I'm thankful for the chance to take a look at these remarkable species, Shepard does have a point. Kaiser would still be alive if we knew these things were just going to pop out of nowhere. Other than that, it's all scientific. Before that, it's all dissection details, talking about organs and things like that.
Did I hear the words gate events?
Peripheral gate event is what.
I've watched too much Stargate. Okay, so okay, so at this point, Niamh's main theory is that they were playing around with quantum something, trying to create some sort of tunnel or something to, I don't know, tesseract or dimension or you know, high level weird science stuff, and something happened and things started coming through, very much like Stranger Things where the walls thinned. That's her main theory, because she engages with that kind of per her conversation with the guy that was like, are we in a simulation? And she's like, there's actually evidence that we are in a hologram. She reads up on all of these science docs whenever they're released. She's very fascinated.
As soon as you hear that, you immediately start looking around the lab for anything related to quantum phenomena, but you find nothing. Whatever it has nothing to do with this lab. This is
elsewhere possibly.
Yeah, this is more of a medical lab than anything else.
Yeah, well, I doubt they were expecting this. That's my main working theory right now. So after inspection, she's gonna take the dictaphone. Yep. And if there's nothing else to be discovered in this lab, she's going to find the others to update them on her current working theory.
Okay, and so who went with Roman? Did you go with him, Mikaj? Or Max?
Yes.
Yep. So as he tears off, you and Alionov can catch up with him. You see them that he stopped. He's kind of halfway between the station and one of the garages, and he's standing there. As you see, there's about a dozen mounds in this human-sized mounds in the snow, basically covered in snow. You'll see maybe limbs partially sticking out of the snow, but he's just standing in amongst them, and you can see he's furious. You can see the look on his face is almost deranged. He's like, sons of bitches. he turns towards the two of you. He goes, "They killed them. They executed them like dogs. Left them here."
Well, we will be sure to return the favor in kind.
What is this madness, Maxim? I know where they went. And he'll tear off back towards the station. Eleonov, she stands there for a moment looking at the bodies. This is pretty horrifying to her as well.
Maxine kind of like snaps, like, head in game. We will mourn later.
I know.
Jim, who has been following,
Yep.
Will see this, and will approach Maxim. I would make sure you know where he's going and he doesn't do anything stupid. We do have a German left, and I hope to think that our source of information might be compromised.
Speaking of which, Lucian, as you're in there, you're going on to your third. You're talking about your third thesis paper that you wrote for some weird thing, and Shepard has just kind of, he's taking it, but he's shut down, and suddenly the door will open, and you'll see Roman will come in and just start, "You son of a bitch," and he just starts punching Shepard in the head repeatedly. What are you going to do?
Crump. Well, amongst all my British stammering, I think perhaps we should jolly well stop all this. It seems a bit impulsive, and I don't know if that's the best thing for the situation right now. Perhaps we should be a little more calm and collected about the entire thing. I had a rather interesting theory about the Argentines. I think you'd be very interested in hearing.
I need to ask a question. Is your gun visible?
Yeah, probably. He's in his tactical gear.
So Gibbs is kind of, he's not close enough. He's a bit doing a rounds, but obviously Niamh, you can hear this commotion, yelling. Maxim, I assume, were you going after him?
Oh yeah, I was right behind him.
Yep. So you come in just as Roman is like, he sees the gun and he reaches for it. So let's just have an initiative. Roman, she basically, it's a die 10. A high roll gets to go. Roman is a 6, which is not too bad, but not the best.
I got an 8.
Oh, geez, nice. Lucian?
I got a 1.
All right, so you're too busy talking. And as you come in, Maxim, you can see Roman is reaching for Lucian's gun. What do you do?
I kind of like grab him in a bear hug.
Okay, just give me a melee roll. Odds are 50%, so it's pretty good.
Okay, yeah, I got a 64, and I add like 20.
Yeah, so you grab Roman, pull him away, slam him against the wall. He goes, he deserves to die. You saw what he did, Maxim.
Do not mistake what I am doing now as the fact that he might leave. He is not going to leave long, but he has
information. Maybe a thought process. I didn't think it was that bad.
But he's got the information that we need. And the more information that he gives us, the more of his friends we find.
All right. I know where they went.
This is third time you've said that. Let's ask the Nazi.
And he goes, I don't need the Nazi. And he'll storm. He goes out another door towards the command center. I won't do anything, Maxim. Let me go.
And I look to the others. I'm like, get the information from him.
All right. So you can arrive and you can fill them in on what you've learned.
Okay. I will tell them my working theory about peripheral gate activity, and I may sound a little insane, but at this point I don't care. And then after I inform them of that, I'm going to say, I think we need to check that cargo plane.
The door, you're just you don't even get a chance for anyone to respond. When the door opens and Roman comes back in, he's clutching one of those maps, and you're like, they went here, god damn it.
Does Maxim recognize what it is, or?
It seems it's an ice ridge. It seems to be in the middle of nowhere. He goes, they offloaded a bunch of equipment and tractors and sleds from that plane. They left for this spot.
What is this spot? Does not seem familiar to when I was here last.
Roman, he goes, I don't know. They obviously kept me alive because they needed Smolensk. But I was locked in the room when I was not needed. But that son of a bitch knows. And he turns. And Shepard is like, he looks around. He's looking for anyone. Who's the most calm-looking person? Probably you, Jim. I don't know, but he's like,
Jim is actually searching the plane.
oh, you're searching the plane. Yep.
Yeah. As soon as Maxim left to go follow, Jim.
Yep. So you can search the plane inside. You will find so that you open it up, you'll find that it is emptied. It is a cargo plane. It has one of those big ramps, which is suitable for vehicles, but there's no equipment left inside. You will find a body bag stored in the plane. If you check it, you can see it is one of these soldiers. The wounds on him would be what you would expect from one of those creatures. He's kind of like half an arm and the shoulders missing, stuff like that. So he was killed by one of these creatures. But other than that, it appears they've offloaded everything. You can probably find up in the front. You know how there's passenger seats. There would be like a little slot. You can see sitting on one of the passenger seats is a copy of Mein Kampf. When you open it, it's autographed.
Oh, fuck. So these guys are serious.
Whose autograph?
Yeah. So you suddenly dawns upon you that you're dealing, that those tattoos, this for some reason appears to be real, but this plane is very modern, and it is not from Antarctica, which means
from from everything. This is what I'm putting together right now. The Reich never ended. These people are not just random dudes who have taken up the name of the Third Reich or the SS or anything like that. They have been trained, and they are operatives. And whether it's a splinter cell or something, this autographed book, I'm assuming by Adolf Hitler.
The author, yep.
With all of the military gear and the ability to come in and infiltrate, a Russian operation, this has to be a fairly sizable group. So
your concern is growing exponentially.
Yeah. My focus is shifted away from my original task here and is now why Nazis.
I think Maxim is gonna talk to Niamh.
Yep.
So do you think he's like Sliders, yes? American TV Sliders?
And he's got two legs.
No, he's they travel space and time through portals like Sliders. He's American classic. He came out not long ago.
He's British.
I never watched that one. I watched Stargate.
It's okay. The movie was better.
Fair, but the movie didn't have Tilk, so.
So you think he's space-time rip that they find? These is not aliens. These is prehistoric things he's coming through.
It could be alternate dimension, a side-by-side, a parallel dimension, or a dimension that exists like nearby that doesn't usually touch.
These things wouldn't be from our past, though, right? Is that what you're saying? They don't look.
That's
like
still not within. I mean, we start talking about dimensions and time, and we get a little wibbly wobbly.
You mentioned he said something about these is mistake things coming through. They should not be coming through. What if they are targeting specific time, specific dimension, where maybe they go back and get allies?
I see.
God.
And something's gonna dawn on her.
Gibbs is
It
listening.
is
He goes-
possible.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
She's just gonna say it's incredibly possible that is what's occurring.
So are you saying that the dinosaurs are recruiting the Nazis, or the Nazis are recruiting the dinosaurs? I'm
I
a bit
think-
lost.
Dinosaurs are from recording mistake, is accident, is bug in system. They hitchhike, yes. They get brought along through dimensions.
So our Argentinian chaps were trying to go all the way back to 19 whenever to grab our old Angry Tash, but accidentally, instead of typing 19, they typed 9 and got instead.
They Marty McFlyed it, yes.
Mm,
Uh,
crumbs.
GM,
Yep.
a thought just occurred to me. How fresh is the autograph? Is it faded at all?
Oh, this is an original, so it is from the time period.
Just
know what you're
making
thinking.
sure we don't have an alternate timeline Adolf Hitler walking around.
The book is well worn, as if it's been read many times, and it probably would be dated, like the autograph would be dated. So as far as Gibbs, he comes over towards you, or actually when you get back, Harper, Gibbs is like, Niamh's got some really out there theories on what's going on here. I don't know if I believe her, but well, she's as crazy as it sounds, is making sense. Something to do with time travel or something. I don't know.
I mean, out there theories for out there reality that we are experiencing, yes? It's time to think outside of box.
He turns to Roman. He goes, "Are you sure this is where they went?" "Absolutely." And he goes,
Nazis,
we gotta check it out.
Nazis, dinosaurs, invasive species, time travel. I feel like that's not as crazy as we should make it out to be.
He goes, "If this turns out to be what you say it is that in your wheelhouse?"
No.
All right. So, well, we got no choice. If even a fraction of what she's saying is true, we need to stop it.
Have we gotten any information out of our captive?
Well, he's coming around after being beaten by Roman. You can head over. You want to kind of, I guess, as a CIA person, you might probably have some interrogation skills.
Yeah. So this is what because I'm very I get uncomfortable with this topic, but I feel like in trying times, I feel like the narrative way to do this is
just skip to the end.
Jim walks in, he closes the door, and then he walks out.
Yep, I agree. Before we're going to take a quick break, but before
we lost your audio, Phzoul.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Or I did. Oh wait, it's me. Hold on. Everyone pause for a second. My headset's just died, I think.
I was gonna say.
That's perfect timing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hello?
Can you hear us okay?
Taste.
She's got to change her input.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But what were you saying?
Yeah, so basically what you get out of Shepard is that
That's something I didn't put a lot into.
Or persuasion. I'll let you pick either. But you can I'm going to make the odds 30% because he is a bit hard. So make your roll. This just determines how much you get out of him.
All right. We're gonna do persuasion because
Okay.
although narratively, I don't think no, we're gonna do self-control because I
Okay.
really don't think this is a hey,
No.
just talk to me
That's
kind
right.
of thing.
Yeah.
So let's see if I can roll under a 30, I guess. Did we
Oh,
change the
like-
rules for that or
That's right. Yeah, absolutely. Yep. Yep. So we'll make that a bonus. So here's what when you ask him, what is that? So that location, you've confirmed it. When you ask him what is there, he's like, "Der Reis." You will find Der Reis there. And Der Reis is German for the giant.
Yeah.
And that's where we'll take a break. Welcome back to 55 Below Zero and 6 Feet from Hell. Where we left off, you've just learned that the modern day Nazis have gone to a location on the map called Der Reis. You can get a couple of other bits of information out of Shepard. He's stubborn and he's definitely ideologically loyal. However, he's he hasn't necessarily gone through the same type of training that you have. You realize that he belongs to an organization called Odessa, which is essentially was formed. It was the continuation of the Reich after World War II. Basically, high-ranking SS. They laid the groundworks, and basically these are their kids. This is their offspring. Here to basically, so they're following an actual, their leader is a guy by the name of Hans Metzger, and he actually led them here to Antarctica because he apparently received information. Shepard doesn't really understand it, but information or a message from his father. And essentially, as far as Shepard knows, Der Reis is some type of facility that was built during the war.
Okay.
So, so Gibbs is like, we need to check out that location.
Jim will come out of the room, wiping his hands, throwing the rag back behind him, closing the door before anyone can see what has happened to their captor.
Gibbs nod at you.
So, some information. It appears a splinter cell of SS, high-ranking SS members from the actual Third Reich continued in a fashion after the war in a group called Odessa. They have propagated and have added numbers to their ranks. One of the high-ranking members who is still alive has told their son, who is the leader of this military group, to meet them at this location here. This Der Reis, which I believe means the giant in German.
And Shepard will confirm they had no idea this existed up until recently. So their leader, sorry, I got his name wrong. It's Wolfric Metzger. He's quite old, but he kind of got a vision of sorts, telling him where to find that this was here. So this has been years in the planning, and it has just recently been executed. So Wolfric Metzger and the rest of the Odessa team are at Der Reis. Shepard doesn't know anything about the science, and except that the creatures have been a pain in the ass.
So we are going to have some Nazis to kill. Everyone.
At that point, Maxime just kind of.
Yeah. Leonov is like, she actually looks towards you, Niamh, and she'll kind of take. She was a bit protective of Lucian, so she'll kind of take Lucian by the arm, and she's like, "Listen, we're ready to see this through, but Niamh, together, we're the scientists. We are going to have to. I don't know. We're going to have to figure out this technology."
Wherever we are going, they are going to have to deal with people, and we are going to have to deal with
That's
whatever they're doing.
All right, I'll gather some things. So whereas you have a field science kit, she'll gather some items that are more electrical in nature.
Yeah.
She'll actually call back. She goes, "For once, Russell would be useful." She'll say, if we have to deal with the mechanical stuff. But she'll shrug, and she'll get you to help her, Lucian, to gather some things up. She's like, "Grab that, get one of those," and she'll be ready to depart whenever Jim and Gibbs.
Yes. Can we can we turn on the broadcast station here at Smolensk and get in contact with
You will find that the Smolensk radio equipment, like Raw Station, has been sabotaged. That there is a radio here, but it's encrypted. So you would need to figure out a way to. I guess it'd be a technical roll, and it's high grade, so your odds are 0%. If you wanted to get into the communications.
I mean, I don't have incredible technical skill. If someone else does,
Maxime has 0.
I have 20.
So you'd have a 20% chance to get into the radio.
you'd have the
my
best
experience
chance.
point to auto complete a roll.
Ah, damn
Oh,
it.
I rolled 53, but
Maybe I might create a rule that experience points can't be used when the odds of success are 0.
yeah, I rolled a 53. I'm looking at this thing like
And do you really want to spend your experience points?
I really
It's fine.
don't.
You
I
wouldn't
have
be
2
able to.
left, and I'm gonna need them.
All right.
You would not be able to.
So without, I guess unless you want to do anything else here at Smolensk, you can get back into the tractor. Roman comes up to you, Maxim, and he goes, "I'm coming with you. I can be useful. I'm a mechanic."
Oh, okay.
That makes sense.
That's about-
Can I just take a sidebar with Maxime really quick and be like, I would like to point out that he seems emotionally charged and is going to be volatile and unpredictable and might actually be a hindrance to us if we are trying to stealth in and he decides to rage.
Yeah, he's batshit insane. But
Yeah.
we may need that.
Okay, I would love if you were aware that we are literally bringing along a wild card.
If he's mechanic, was he also like a driver?
Yep.
So
He's a maintenance guy, right? So
if
he can
nothing
kind of
else,
do
he-
everything.
If nothing else, he could drive, be getaway if we need, or
Okay.
we'll keep
We
him
need to
inside.
keep an eye on him.
Yes.
As you're going about and getting loading up into the tractors, Roman will say to you, Maxim, he's like, "Maxim, I need a gun."
I don't know about that, friend.
Maxim,
You're best behind wheel and you're best with a wrench. I have not seen you pick up weapons in time I have been here.
you are going to need everyone you can armed. Who knows how many of them there are?
Ideally, this would be a infiltration mission, not a
All right, he'll grab
storm the gates.
he'll grab a wrench, a big wrench or something.
Can I
That's
like
worse.
could I do like an observation on him just to see how
You
like
can, yeah.
stable he is? Okay.
Vibe check.
Yeah, I'm gonna vibe check.
Give me an observation roll.
That's a 7.
Hey,
Yeah, he appears calm at the moment, but his outbursts, you guess, wouldn't take much to trigger him. So He's obviously very, very upset at what they've done. As long as someone's with him and by him, you can reason with him, but left alone, he might do something impulsive.
I also tell him, like, we've lost helicopter back at other base. We may need you around to help with the cargo jet as well.
All right.
These also might be only way out of here.
So
Listen.
you can pile into the tractor. He accepts the reasoning, and you can drive out to that location on the map of the rice.
Yeah, real quick, before we go,
Yep.
As everybody's loading stuff into the all-track, once again, I don't want to describe anything, but Jim is going to take care of their prisoner.
Okay, Shepard. Yep, you make sure. All right, and you leave. And you leave Smolensk truly deserted.
Yeah. Now, everyone, I don't want to preface this with low hope, but this is not, the intent is not a suicide mission here, please. I would very much like to live. I'm sure all of you would like to as well.
I mean, I have lived full life. I have killed dinosaurs and Nazis within the last 24 hours. Those were on bucket list.
Right. What I'm saying
I'll
is,
just speak up and say I would very much like to survive.
right.
Robin
for
did tell
instance-
me very specifically I should have survived, so...
Niamh and Ariana here, if we survive this, will most likely win a Nobel Peace Prize with their scientific discoveries. So let's at least keep them alive for the betterment of humanity, perhaps.
I would mostly just like to be able to find a nice lab somewhere warm to work in after this.
Well, I get a prize.
And Leonov will nod, but Gibbs goes, all of that said, you cannot understate the risks. We might die. And you have to be prepared for that.
Right. Second point. These are Nazis. We all know what they have been capable of in the past. If you are captured, do your best not to be captured. Even if that includes taking your own life.
I will go down fighting.
Everyone kind of nods, or at least Leonov nods. Gibbs, you know that he knows, and you can slip the tractor into gear and head back out into the snow. As you near the location on the map, you can see that there's a large cliff of ice extending as far as you can see in either direction. It's probably a part of the Trans-Antarctic mountain range. But after a bit of driving around, you will find a large crack in the surface. It's clearly visible, and it looks like an ice cave. And in fact, despite the blowing snow, there probably would be, at least in the cave, you can see tracks from where previous vehicles had passed.
So it's like a large enough crack to drive into?
You can
or-
drive right in, yeah. It's a bit looking at it from it's a bit of an optical illusion. Like you have to be facing the right direction in order to kind of see the entrance. But up close, yeah, definitely big enough to drive vehicles in. And as you enter this cave, you can navigate through it a ways where you will actually come upon sleds. So these would be equipment sleds that would have been hauled through the snow by tractors. The tractors are actually parked here. And there is a set of kind of metallic double doors inset in the ice that essentially bear the Nazi eagle. And on it, it actually says "De Reis." There is no one here. The vehicles look abandoned, but the sleds are empty, which means all of the equipment has been removed. So you can get out of vehicles.
I guess inside.
Yeah, we'll pull up and I'll shut down the rover. My
Maybe we
wonderfully
should-
safe.
We should park in reverse so we can make quick getaway.
Yeah, I'll absolutely do that.
Okay, you can absolutely navigate that around and park it in reverse. You have a gun, don't you, Niamh? I think.
I believe I have a silenced pistol, a 9mm
Silenced
that I
pistol,
picked
yep.
up.
Yeah, I think we found enough guns that everyone
Yeah,
can be
everybody-
That everyone had, yeah.
Well, I'm assuming there would have been arms within the plane too. Just
Yeah, there's probably some backup gear for sure.
nothing new, but
No.
enough for everybody to have something.
Yeah. So as you get out of the vehicles and head towards the doors, you'll find that they're a bit, they're a bit hard to move, but you can open them without a roll or much difficulty. A Roman can kind of, use a bit of. There probably has been a bit of grease used, and when they open, you go down a short tunnel. Technically the tractor could fit in here, but it doesn't look like it would normally be used for that. And as you head down the tunnel, you'll find yourself in a facility. Actually, it's like a cave, which is essentially a submarine docking station. You can see that there's a U-boat frozen in the ice directly in front of you, cranes, shipping containers, and another kind of corridor which heads off into the distance. Gibbs is like, well, that's something I didn't expect to see. Then again, I didn't expect to see dinosaurs or Nazis, but yeah, that's an actually.
Who is Anna Metzger?
Oh, she's not supposed to be here.
Oh, okay. I was like, am I missing an NPC?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
Um,
and you can actually, when you look around, as you can see this U-boat, the cranes, everything is quite frozen over. In fact, this base doesn't look like it's been in operation in decades or even longer. So, if the Nazis did set up a base here, it didn't last long after the war before it appears to have been abandoned to some extent.
Now, is this just the submarine that we see, or does it look like there's...
It is, but you see the submarine, as I mentioned, there's a facility that goes off. And in fact, I'm going to show
Okay.
you the whole thing, because on the wall, there would be a emergency exit map. And you can actually see the layout of the facility. This isn't a dungeon crawl, don't worry, we're not going to go through this. But it's just there for visual. So you're at the facility, you're at the U-boat right now,
Mhm.
but you can see there's a long corridor which essentially heads back deeper into the structure.
this is the greatest thing ever.
Is that symbol there too that's on the map?
It is, yeah. So instead of this is the symbol. Give me a, science or investigation roll in your case, Jim.
Have we seen this symbol before?
No, but you do see it. Displayed around here, just on the crates, on doors, things like that. So just give me I'll make it fairly obscure. So it's 30% would be your base, but it's an investigation roll.
I got a 12.
This is the symbol of the Thule Society. It is the occult arm of the Nazi SS.
Interesting. Okay.
I think when he says that, Maxim kind of nudges Jim. He's like, there is no Dana, only Thule.
Yeah.
You get it?
No.
He's Ghostbusters.
Oh, I understand.
He's good
It's not
movie.
Niamh and Lucian, what are you doing? Eleonov will tell Lucian not to get too close to the edge.
I mean,
Oh,
I'm following with the others, keeping an eye out and trying to figure out where in this complex there would be. I'm looking for some sort of
Yeah, you're like
collider or
Yeah.
something, you know, like some large where they're gonna have a big machine that can like.
You can note, it is pretty dark here, but when you're looking around further down the tunnel, you do see what looks like lights. And one of the things I'll let you know, you will suddenly, all of you, see a large gout of flame. It's like woof, woof, shoot out across the tunnel. No question for those of you in the military, a flamethrower just went off, but it goes dark again. There'll be another quick whoosh afterwards, and then it goes dark.
Dragons.
Yeah.
Flamethrower, actually. Seems they might be dealing with more dinosaurs. Perhaps. That flamethrower might be good to have.
Or an invasive plant species.
Right.
Or
Gibbs.
to hell.
Gibbs and Maxim.
Yeah.
While we're going through here, keep an eye out for anything that can be used as explosives.
I should have taken explosive from this.
There
Well-
were explosives at Smolensk?
No, they rigged the. Shoot, I should have. No, they rigged the generator back at our base.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. If somebody wants to spend an experience point, we can retcon that.
I will do it.
Okay. You have explosives.
Look, I have
Good, like-
explosives.
What kind? They were more like smaller explosives.
They were,
right?
yeah. It's enough. It'd be the equivalent of, I would say, let's say there's 4 explosives. Each one would be the equivalent of a grenade. So combined, it's a half decent,
Okay.
but not.
Enough to take out some sort of machine.
That's right. Yep.
And if you put explosive next to thing that is explosive, then you'll make even bigger explosive.
Yep.
Right. That's that. If they have a fuel line here,
I also have trigger.
Oh, you have a trigger.
Yes.
Yeah.
They had the trigger on them.
I
Keep
like the
that
fact
on
you're
you.
pressing it lots. That's fun.
The Joda flame goes off again. It's getting closer.
It's getting close.
It's time to move.
We should probably climb.
Yeah.
Now
So
is it?
you'll have to go towards the flame down that. Yeah. It's basically the flame is around here right now.
Okay.
And you can see there'll be one more kind of jolt of flame. It's close enough now that you can see it's definitely a person wearing a flamethrower. And after they fire it off, they'll turn around, and it looks like they're starting to walk back down the corridor. Niamh and Lucian, well, you can all kind of notice one of those little bugs will just kind of skitter past you guys
Ugh.
and go into a corner.
Is in the station.
Yeah, they've lost control.
Should we do something about that?
I think that our main goal should not be cleanup, but actually shutting down.
Yeah, God.
Because if the sink is busted and we're trying to mop the floor, and the sink remains busted,
Yes.
I just like, okay, David, you put that on the screen, and it looked to me like it was skittering up my computer, and I was like, ah.
So I think we should fix the sink leak before we try and mop the floor. Otherwise, water will just keep pouring all over the floor.
Right. I'm gonna fix the sink.
No.
And then-
We
You-
need to
you
shut
want me
down
to-
the machine. We need to shut down the sink. We need to turn off the
Am
water.
I the machine, or am I the? Do I need to plug the sink, or?
I think in this analogy,
She's
you're
gonna start
wrench.
like going like this to her head, like.
I'm gonna shoot the bug.
Are you going to shoot the bug?
Oh
I'm
God.
gonna shoot the bug.
He's got a silence pistol.
Oh, that's right.
No, I don't.
No,
Oh,
he doesn't.
didn't take one.
No, he doesn't. Okay, well, when that happens, she's just gonna, like, that's not the sink. And then she's gonna look around to see who heard that.
I don't know if it's like, she's like, Lucian, we need to keep our heads.
Sorry, I was playing plumbers.
So if you, So if you do fire off a shot to hit the bug, I don't even know if you would hit. You'd have to make a firearms roll. It's 30% because it's small and fast moving.
Okay.
You have anything? You have a 30% chance. Luckily,
This was one of the silenced. We gave him a silenced pistol.
Oh,
yeah.
you did. Okay.
I got a 70.
70. So the silenced pistol goes. We'll say because that would be that might end the game real quick.
No. We definitely outfitted everyone with silenced.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, we would do that ahead of time.
And Jim,
I remember you saying pistol grip shotgun.
You fire at the bug and it skitters off. You missed it.
Can the silencers be applied to other weapons?
So there's silencers. So you can essentially get silencers for the sniping rifle, the pistols, and I'll say that you can attach them to the.
Okay, Jim would have taken one and put it on his whatever the Nazi rifle was.
Yep.
Do you remember what
G36.
that was?
Yep.
G36. Okay.
Who has the shotgun? Because if no one objects, Maxime would like something a little close range to balance out the sniper.
Yeah. So as you approach.
I just have a silenced pistol, so you can have the.
Yeah. So are you guys going to head down the hall? You'll see the guy with the flamethrower kind of disappears in the distance.
Yeah, let's move.
Okay.
Yeah, move away from this spot,
So
definitely.
as you head down the hall, you can see. We'll say you get. You just kind of move forward. You know that he went down more towards the end. I'm assuming you're going to want to, I guess, investigate or at least secure his location before wandering off through the facility. Is that fair?
Which way did he go again? If you
Right
could
down
ping
the
it on
very
map.
end of the.
Oh, he went all the way down.
That's
Okay.
right. Yeah, he's going
Okay.
down here.
Are the other locations the like branches off? Can we see those, like the stairs leading up?
There's
Or-
doors. Yeah, you can see the stairs. There's no one here. In fact, it's you don't even see. So there was a lot of gear on the sleds. In fact, but you don't see much of anything. Again, this place, at least this end of it, seems to have a deserted feel to it as well. It's only at the far end. You will see kind of purplish lights coming from the far end of the corridor. So it's at the far end that seems to, it seems to be the only activity.
Yes. We should secure this person before we go venturing off to other locations.
Do the doors have like little like windows or portholes through them, or are they just solid?
Probably don't.
Okay.
They're probably metal doors. They would probably have this symbol on them. If as you go by, if you want to check, did you want to do a quick check to see inside any of the doors?
More just to make sure like we don't end up with somebody behind us, is like as we're going forward.
Well, one of the things that you can do, remember the old pennying in the door? I mean, Gibbs can pull a knife. You can like jam a knife in the doors to make them difficult to open if you want.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay. Gibbs probably carries a couple knives. He'll volunteer. You can come up with something makeshift. And Roman can figure something out as well.
I bet that Maxime probably found like a couple of like those like SS bayonets on the people that he took down. So.
And as you get closer to the end of the corridor, you can kind of feel and hear a very low kind of thrumming noise. And then you can see quite visibly at the end of the corridor is essentially what looks like some type of device, which I will. You can see it's relatively.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for.
Decently large, but there's this kind of, it's emitting a purplish glow. You can see that it's just kind of sitting there silently kind of humming, and it appears to be the main source, main power source here.
Are those?
But you can feel it's almost like a vibration in your body as you get closer.
Are those bugs around it?
They are, yeah. So they're dead ones. They've been barbecued
Okay.
with the flamethrower. As you're kind of just coming, you're just at the edge of that corridor. I'll flip you back just for a second.
Is this person, when they reach the end here, are they taking off the flamethrower gear?
Yeah, so they went out of sight. so you lost sight of them, but as you get close to the end, with those bugs on the floor, you'll actually see them reappear. And this time they've traded the flamethrower in for a broom and dustpan. They're essentially cleaning up the bugs that they fried. Just seems like a guy. He's wearing kind of the same military outfits that you saw of the other Odessa agents.
I think
imagine.
I would like to try and go around the side.
Yeah, so this is a relatively large room, so don't just go by the picture. It's a very tall room.
Okay.
And there are catwalks and gantries all around the outer edge, and in the center, you can see the device. So get everybody kind of. So you're going to actually enter the room and kind of go around the perimeter, Niamh.
I'm gonna look at Aliona and be like, we need to,
Yeah.
and I'm just gonna look at everyone else like, do your thing, we'll do ours.
So this guy is kind of in front of it, and he's cleaning up the bugs. Whether you can, it's up to you whether you want to wait till he finishes, or you want to make a move.
Is he humming Edelweiss?
Yeah, sure.
Fucking
He
Germans.
doesn't have a rifle on him. He does have a sidearm on his belt, but he'll actually be grumbling something about damn bugs, stuff like that.
I'm walking up. I am going to just entrust my crew after giving them the look like you do
Yeah.
your job, I'll
So
do mine.
I'm
I'm gonna walk up.
He lose right up at you, and he's like, "What?" It takes him a second to kind of process what he should be there. He drops the. He's going to lose. He's absolutely going to lose initiative, but he just kind of the dustpan, slow motion, and the broom just kind of fall away from his hand as he's going for the pistol on his.
Oh, he does.
I would like to just shoot him.
He just had a pistol. Yeah, go ahead.
Yep.
So base is 50%, and the I'll give you a plus 10% bonus because he's a bit dumbfounded. So basically, you have a 60% plus whatever your firearms are.
58. What's my firearms, please? I don't have anything.
No, but I gave you 60, so you just hit.
Yeah.
So you bring the gun. And
Action scientist.
Well, a little bit. Like I'm starting to get tired. I've been running on adrenaline for a while now. And like you guys were not getting the hint that I need him taken out before I go get to the computer. So it's like if he's gonna like take his firearm, it's like nope. I'm gonna Indiana Jones just shoot this guy and continue on to the machine.
So you shoot him. He goes. He's a no-name NPC, so I'm sure your the damage that you do will be enough. As you walk across, gunfire erupts from one of the catwalks. As you'll note, that there were a couple of other
there are.
people that didn't see in the periphery.
Oh, how nice.
So let's have an overall initiative. You'll see two guys kind of. Well, actually, there's one guy shooting. He's on a catwalk, but he yells out something in German, and a second guy is quickly joining him. The bad guys have a 7 for initiative. So everybody can roll. Niamh.
Can I in German shout out prowler and like prowler attack?
You can on your
Absolutely,
on your initiative.
yes.
Yeah.
I would like to do that.
Yeah.
What am I rolling for initiative again?
Just 1 die 10. High roll
1 die
gets.
10. Okay.
Maxime got an 8.
Good on the initiative, Max.
I got a 4.
Okay. Jim, Lucian.
I also got a 1.
You're always getting a 1. Jim, what'd
Yeah,
you get?
we both got a 1.
Oh, okay. Okay, Maxime, it's up to you. So the gunfire, a short burst kind of erupts. The bullets kind of ricochet and spark off the floor near your feet, Niamh. But Maxime, I'm assuming you had a gun at the ready.
Oh, he's got the sniper ready.
Yeah, so you can see that there's 2 targets on a catwalk overlooking this room. And they have they've obviously one of them has just fired a shot at Niamh, although the real shot will come on their turn. So go ahead. You what would you like to do?
If I took 2 shots, what do I drop my chances by?
You drop it by 20%.
By 20%. Okay. I'm gonna try and I'm gonna shoot one, and then I'm gonna see if I need to shoot him again or shoot the other one.
Okay, so I'm going to, because I'm going to make it a little bit challenging here because they're kind of elevated. They have the high ground. So the base odds to hit them, I'm going to drop it to 30%.
Okay.
They have a bit of advantage. So what's your firearms?
That's at 40, so it's gonna be 70 still for me.
You have a 70, or you can take 2 shots at 50. That's up to you.
Yeah, I was gonna do the 50 then. So
Okay.
First one is a 12.
Okay, so the first one hits. He does not dodge. Listen, that's a high enough. These are no name NPCs. That's a high
Okay.
enough caliber gun that the round goes right through him, and he'll snap backwards on the catwalk and flip over it, and fall to the ground.
And then a 34 for my other.
Oh.
So I'm gonna just and then switch over.
So you ring off the second shot. So Maxime, the Terminator here, so he comes running out. He didn't even get a chance to fire yet. He takes the hit and he crumples back onto the catwalk. That's 2 back. I had these guys here. I'm going to get rid of those. So another guy, another soldier, and this guy. So there's multiple catwalks and gantries. He actually appears, and he's going 9, 9, 9 because of all the shooting that's going on. He basically, Niamh, you can understand him. He basically is like, "Don't hit the machine," type thing. Obviously, very alarmed. So I guess technically the villains are dead. So they don't. So the newcomers won't get an action. I guess it's you, Niamh.
I still have my gun out. Like I
Yep.
feel like I had my field kit in one hand, my pistol in the other hand. I shot this dude. They started shooting. I was getting closer to the machine.
Yeah. So the machine
he's
is
out,
the
and I'm
obvious- the machine
pulling my
is the
pistol.
obvious cover.
Yeah.
And as you kind of run, I assume you're going to run towards the machine.
Yeah, and if he pops out, I will.
He's on a balcony overhead. He's just yelling down at everybody
okay.
to stop shooting. But as you get to the machine, you will see there's a woman behind it, and the gunfire is going up. As soon as you see her, she was here all along. So I am going to give her her action. As soon
Okay.
as she sees you with the gun, she throws a lever.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
What would you? I will still give you your action. So she throws a lever.
I would like to shoot her.
We're gonna shoot her.
I would like to shoot her.
She's unarmed.
No, she's
Bam,
armed
bam.
with whatever this machine is. I think.
She's wearing a lab coat.
He's
no.
armed with science.
Yeah, no, at this point, like, these guys have been irresponsible with science and they're putting immense lives at risk. I'm done.
So you bring up the gun and you can please do your roll to hit, please. The base is, she's just standing there, so the base is 50%. I won't give you a bonus.
28.
So you bring the gun up and you can feel a change in the hum that's coming out of the machine, and a tingling sensation goes over the surface of your body, and you pull the trigger. The bullet comes out in slow motion as it literally, and then it just stops in midair between you and her as the purplish glow turns red, and the device. It's almost like if I put your head, Tyrant will know this, if I put your head inside of a bell and just kind of glinged it back and forth, it's all like gong, it'll just this kind of immense kind of thrumming sound happens, and everybody freezes. So whether you were moving, and it's almost like not only is everybody freezing, but they're going out of focus, they're kind of shifting. As the room, while you're not moving, the room itself is spinning faster and faster until there is nothing around you, a blur. Things essentially just go black. Then there's an incredibly bright red light, and you are not in Antarctica anymore.
Mm-hmm.
My God.
You can see that you're standing on an octagon-shaped metal platform, similar to a helicopter landing pad. The air is hazy. but in the distance you can make out the peaks of a mountain range. In the orange-hued sky above, there is a dim glow of twin suns. Very strange, not Tatooine though. You can be seen through the clouds. Nearby are buildings, a large fuel drum, stacks of crates, vehicles, all Nazi, including old army trucks, a motorcycle with a kind of the old sidecar on it with a machine gun. You don't see anyone except for maybe a bird, and one of those skittering things will skitter away from the platform into the underbrush.
What do the
She
birds
is
look
there
like?
all of a sudden. The bullet is now going full speed again. You did roll a hit. You're gonna have to roll damage on this one because she's a named NPC. So Niamh, give me a 2d10. 3d10 plus 20, please.
3d10. Okay. So an 8, a 6, and an 8 plus 20. So
2, something like that.
22
40
plus 20.
42.
Yeah,
Okay.
42. So she gets hit in the shoulder by the gun and it knocks her. She collapses onto the platform. She's not dead.
Is the machine still there with her?
Oh, the
or-
machine is not here.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
She's moaning in pain. Lucian, how are you reacting to this?
He's very confused. Very confused. 1 minute, there's gunfire, and he's sort of just he's conflicted. He got told not to shoot things, and now everyone's shooting things. He's kind of got the back of everyone, last person to react. The next thing he knows, he's thrown out onto not Tatooine.
Please don't shoot, says the woman on the ground in pain.
He's gonna
Are you gone?
look at me and be like,
The ground, I'm not sure what Gibbs is like. Gibbs almost goes down on one knee, but he almost like he goes momentarily weak for a minute, and he's like, what? He actually looks towards Niamh. He's like, what the fuck just happened? But before
We are not in Kansas anymore.
I was waiting
What
for
he
someone to
said.
say that.
there is no need for that, Lucian. We do need information, and best not to kill our primary source.
You feel the platform vibrate again, and you almost think that it's possible that maybe is the device reactivating when there's kind of these loud kind of crashing, and coming into view kind of around the pledge, you see something that looks like that. Just for scale, that's a person right here.
Jeez.
And it
I
just,
hate it.
and it just walks past.
Okay, I'm gonna stand up out of the Jeep and take off my sunglasses.
And it just walks past and keeps going. Doesn't pay you any mind.
Okay, everybody. Niamh, you seem to understand. You referenced Stargate or something like that. This is turned into a sci-fi movie, so
She's gonna put up a hand and she's walking over to the scientist and is literally going to put her boot on her.
On her bullet wound?
Yes.
She rides the pain. She's like,
I'm going to say, I am applying pressure to your wound. I will give you another wound if you do not answer quickly the information we need. Is this a different planet or a different dimension? How do we get back? And why the fuck did you keep doing this when you noticed that there were anomalies? The tests were unsafe.
you gave me no choice. If you had shot the machine, we might have all been killed. But this, to answer your question, this is Thule. Another dimension, another planet. Does it really matter?
It actually does. It's bizarre to me that you do not know that.
It is another dimension.
As a scientist, I'm offended.
She goes, It is another dimension. We are just learning what we can about it, but my father is here with the expedition to find my grandfather, Hans Metzger. Please, can I stand? I need medical attention.
Yes, you do. How do we get back?
She kind of furrows her brow. She goes, Sten must reactivate the device. But
From the other side?
Yes, and he will because I am here. She kind of gives you a look like he wouldn't do it for you, but he'll do it for me.
Mm-hmm.
And my father will be returning, but it
What
takes
is your-
some time for the device to recharge.
What is your method of communication with the other side?
There is none.
He just activates
Well,
activates it.
Well, she'll say, well, none that we are aware of. My grandfather seems to have had a way to communicate. That's how he contacted us and told us of this location. We've come to get him.
All right, I'm gonna kneel down.
You're obviously in over your head. Your best bet.
I'm gonna kneel down and look her really close in the face. You are in over your head. You have introduced invasive species to our home planet and endangered the lives of billions for your little experiment. And I'm gonna just start inspecting the wound and packing it and trying to wrap it as best I can with whatever clothing I can rip off of her. I'm not giving her mine.
Okay. You can do a half decent job that you won't bleed to death. But Gibbs will come forward and he's like, "Are you saying that your grandfather came here after the war?" She goes, "Yes, that is what I'm saying. Him and select others. They escaped Germany."
I knew it. We're in Argentina.
He goes,
Argentina, known for their two sons.
Well, there's one on the flag and one in the sky. I don't know what more you want.
"They contacted my father, who is the head of Odessa, and told us of this place. We have come here to bring my grandfather home." You should really if you just put down your weapons and surrender, I will see to it that you're not harmed. But you're in over your head. You obviously don't know anything about this place. And my grandfather will listen to me.
I know that Metzger was a dumb magician that thought he was Illuminati. I don't know what he's doing here, but a little bit, and I'm going to just look her right in the eye, I do not care. I don't care about your dumb magics. You have endangered an entire planet with your irresponsible science.
Gibbs goes, "Where is your father now?" And there is a road that leads away from this place, but she will point, and she goes, "From what I understand, the main facility or location is about 5 miles in that direction, towards the mountains."
And how long until they activate the machine again back where we come from?
She'll look at you, she goes, 6 hours.
I see.
So 5 miles there, 5 miles back. We take these vehicles. We could get back in time while also investigating or killing everybody.
Gibbs goes, "I still think we need to see this through. We need to know what's going on here."
We need to know what's going on, and we need to make sure that
It stops.
We need to know how to stop it.
the Nazis cannot
So
do any more damage.
"How many are here?" He turns to Anna. She goes, I'm not too sure." He goes, "Well, there could be hundreds, thousands." But looking around this place, you are struck by yet again, this is another facility. While the vehicles and stuff are operational, it is deserted. It hasn't been tended to in some time. It doesn't look the buildings, nothing really looks used. And in fact, if you look at the road, her father took vehicles when they came through. They took vehicles because anything in the tunnel can be transported. The only tracks that you see leading away from this, there's 2 sets of tracks, but beyond that, nothing has really traveled back and forth between the platform and their base in quite some time.
Yeah, let us get into town, eh?
What do we want to do with this one?
I
You're
say,
going to need me to talk to my father.
She says we need her. How convenient.
yes, no,
For
she's
her.
very known for the diplomacy.
I say we tie her up and bring her with us. If nothing else, she is a bargaining chip.
Everyone, let's clear this town, this base. Make sure there's nothing of interest that we can learn, or even weapons that we can bring along with us. Again, Gibbs and Maksim, if you find any explosives, the more the merrier. Lucian and Roman.
Yep.
I think now is probably the time to give you both heavier weapons.
Roman nods in approval. Yep, you give him does he get an assault rifle of sorts?
Yeah, we'll give Roman an assault rifle. And I suppose, well, does it really matter what kind of gun Lucian has, or does he prefer one or the other? No? Okay.
We'll find out.
Well,
Could-
we'll give Lucian the M14 that Jim was using before
Okay.
the G36.
All right, so you have a rifle, Lucian.
Would it be possible? Would it be possible to take this like heavy machine gun off of the motorcycle?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can detach it. Yeah.
Hells yeah!
Can we put a silencer on it?
No, it is an MG42, pretty lethal gun, but yeah, cannot be silenced.
He's the desperate. We call this escape. We call this escape strategy. Yes.
Yes, absolutely. We can mount it to the back of this truck.
Truck. Yep.
Everyone, let's get ready, search this place, and then get on our way. We only have 6 hours.
Yes.
So you can get on the truck and head out from the facility. Again, Niamh, you are amazed by the landscape, the flora, the fauna. I mean, untold number of strange kind of plants. You'll see animals. For the most part, again, while the creatures that came through appeared to be dangerous, this is a mix of both predators and herbivores. Obviously, you would love to spend years exploring this place, but time is of course working against you.
Yeah, I mean, like there's part of her that like is genuinely like awestruck by what's around and absolutely just wants to go out, observe everything, take notes, like learn everything about this because it's an entirely new everything. But at the same time, she's extremely frustrated with how irresponsible these people have been with their discovery. And also, not only have they discovered it, been irresponsible and threatened our planet, but they were also secretive about it, and knowledge should be shared with the world. And really, she's just very angry and been running on adrenaline for so long.
You're like white.
She's nothing but nerves right now.
White knuckled on the gun.
Yeah.
As you're driving, Gibbs will look towards you, Jim, and he goes, "We're destroying this, right? Are we on the same page with that?"
We will not let any of this stand. In fact, if we can't destroy whatever is happening here, we'll take out the device on the other side. Trap Nazis.
There's something
I'm sorry, are you guys talking about destroying this planet?
No.
No. We're talking about destroying the means by which this
gateway
planet can infiltrate ours.
Okay.
I did have a quick question. What is, because there's two suns. What's the temperature here where we are now?
It's probably a bit like Arizona in the summer. Yeah.
Oh,
So it's a bit on the hot side, but
Oh,
it's
it's
a bit of, but
it's dry too.
you'll
Shit.
occasionally get hit with a cool breeze coming down from the mountains. But yeah, but it's not it's not like it's not hostile, but it's a bit uncomfortable.
Is it humid?
Yeah, it's probably a little bit. Yeah, there's a lot of plant life, so yeah, humidity makes sense.
Okay. So it's not quite like Arizona.
No, oh, I guess not. Yeah. Maybe more like the Amazon. Not quite, but it's a bit. But again, there are some microclimates. So as you're driving along, it'll be hot, it'll be cool. But as you basically approach the this unknown location, the road will kind of circle around a large kind of tower that in front of you. You can see this is obviously man-made. It's obviously would be German in origin. The blacked out center there would be the symbol of the Thule Society. So you can see this. There is a plaque at the bottom of it. Whether or not you want to stop or not, that's up to you. But this thing would be probably a couple hundred feet from the base to the top.
Is Niamh stopping to look at the plaque?
I mean, yeah, I'd probably read it.
You can stop momentarily. In the distance, you can see, because it's only 5 miles, in the distance, you can see the mountains, what looks like a castle nestled in the mountains.
Of course. They've got a castle.
Of course, the Nazi castle. You take a look at it. It's probably in German, Niamh, but you can, of course, I don't have it written in German, but you can read it in English. And you can see that there's this plaque here on the bottom of the castle. You want me to read it, or would you like to read it?
I can read it to the group. I can say, the Thule, those ancient dreamers, waiting eons for the gate to open. The Reich shall rule for 1,000 years in return for our worship. The earth will be their new holy plain, a shrine to their dreams, a table for their feasts. And when the 1,000 years ends, only the weak will weep. We, the chosen, will rejoice, knowing that in the dreams of the Thule, we will be remembered eternal. And I'm gonna look back at Chicky again and just be like, "You're idiots."
she just kind of and when you read it aloud, you realize that she hasn't read this. Obviously, I guess she hasn't been here. She looks a bit puzzled after you've read it, and she goes, she doesn't really have anything to say, but
yeah.
she's like,
I mean, we've already established that Niamh likes to explore the wilder sides of things, so like I feel like she would definitely know wild theories about the Illuminati and the OTO and like Herman Metzger.
Absolutely. You're definitely getting, so the Thule Society, the fact that and you realize that they're calling this place Thule, something in regards to their ideology or their occult worship obviously is connected to this place somehow. Now, they called this place the Thule, but this here inscription also seems to refer to something as the Thule, like a being or a race of sorts.
Yeah.
So you can get back into the vehicle and head forward. Aliona, she puts a hand on your knee, Lucian, and she's like, "You've been awfully quiet, which makes me very nervous."
Well, in the nicest possible way, that makes me very nervous.
She goes, this is, I know there's no way that anyone could be prepared for this, but remember back at in the tractor when the things were attacking, how you just kind of stepped up and just shot the thing that was hanging on the back.
Yeah, I blew that motherfucker away.
she'll laugh when you say that. She goes, "We need that Lucian now," she'll say.
Oh,
As
right.
Niamh navigates it around. And in the distance, you can see that there's the castle, but there's also what looks to be a town nestled beneath the castle. Buildings. There's a fairly large object or like a statue or in the center of town. I'll leave it up to you guys whether you actually want to drive right in, but I will show you the object. And you can see, and I have a vehicle there for scale. And in fact, there are 2 vehicles parked in front of it. So you can see, so on that map, there's this large statue in the center of the village. And you can see that there's 2 modern kind of trucks parked near it. You don't see any sign of anybody, at least visibly. The town, the castle battlements, they all appear to be deserted. So the trucks are the only real sign of something unusual. And the place definitely has something has been left to the desert and the sand is kind of blown. It has that kind of feel to it. So Niamh, as you're in the truck, you can approach. I don't know whether you just want to drive right in or whether you want to kind of pull in behind a building to be more stealthily.
Yeah, I feel like I don't want to just come charging in,
No.
but also I want to be able to approach more stealthily, but firmly in control of this woman we have with us.
Yep, you guys have her, and she's not a combatant. She's a bit, and Gibbs will be watching her, but she is awestruck herself. You can tell this is the first time she has been seeing all of this. As soon as she sees the vehicles, she will say, "That's my father and his team." And she kind of points it out to them. I'm going to go back to the, actually, maybe I'll just copy this and carry it over. I'll go back to this.
So that Lovecraft Shrine is the center of town.
It is. That's that.
Is there actually the devil's? I have one just like it in my living room. Devil's Tower.
Could have used it as a prop. Yeah, so you can see that statue forms the center of town, and the 2 vehicles are parked near it. You can the castle's in the distance with this large mountain kind of looming overlooking the whole thing, and you can see that you can pull in kind of in behind, maybe over here behind the buildings out of sight. Gibbs immediately gets out. He turns to you, Jim, and he says, "Listen, I'm going to leave you in charge of the group, but I'm a solo recon specialist. I'm going to take a look around." He points to these 3 kind of buildings. They look like warehouses. You can actually see parked in front of them is a Stuka fighter plane. It's just kind of sitting there collecting dust. He'll point and he goes, maybe, he says, let's see if radios work. The radios will not work. They're a little bit, maybe there's some static. You have to do a little bit of fine tuning, but he'll say, "How about I'll meet you at those buildings in 30 minutes or an hour?"
Let's say an hour. Let's say an hour. How much time did it take it for us to get here?
We'll say, let's say it took you about 30 minutes. So you need to be out of here. You need at least that much time to get back.
Right. An hour should be fine. I trust you. Stay safe.
Yeah. So he will actually take off, leaving your group while everybody else kind of pile out. Lucian, because they kind of there is some vegetation and stuff, like some weeds and brambles and stuff all around, which is why you didn't initially notice it. But Lucian, you can actually see that there are in and amongst the nearby, kind of in and amongst the trees, are about 10 people that have been crucified. Mummies, they're mummified, long dead. They're all wearing Nazi uniforms.
Well, This is a discovery.
And everyone else can see that now as well. They're just kind of dried out. It looks like the bodies are decades old.
They still look humanoid.
They are, yep.
Okay.
Yep. You can go check them out if somebody wants to make a medical roll.
Oh, medical?
Or science. So science, sorry. There's a
I would
medical,
love to find out how they actually died, yeah, if I
but
could.
science would be a good roll in this case.
Okay.
Or medical, it's up to you. Yep.
Science.
Nope.
Oh, you have advantage, or did you already use it?
I haven't. I'll roll again. Because a 91 ain't gonna get us there.
You need to roll.
Okay, a 66. And I've
A
got a
66.
30
Yeah,
science.
that's a great roll.
Okay.
You can take a look. They were so the you will find so the bodies are quite old, but you will find evidence of wounds all over their bodies, like there were the clothing is torn. These were Nazi SS soldiers. There's no question, and you feel that the mummification process, to some extent, may have accelerated, as in it didn't occur naturally.
Hmm. As if something sucked any sort of.
Their limbs, in fact, probably at least one of the posts that they're on, and their limbs and stuff, ribs, would also be crushed, as if they were squeezed.
Okay. I am going to turn back to my team. I was assuming that the Thule was maybe the creatures of this planet, being revered as like a better species, a truer species, because of its very impressive DNA and adaptability. But I am starting to believe that the Thule is in fact whatever that sculpture is, and these are offerings to it.
And Leonov goes, they offered their own?
Is all they had.
Yeah.
Roman goes, do you see anyone here? This place would have, thousands could have occupied it. And there's no one. It is a ghost town.
Well, we're here now.
In the area where they were feeding them, I think we must move.
Yes.
So as you're about to depart, Niamh, since you were taking a look at it, you will notice that there is something that looks like a small journal tucked into the clothing of one of the bodies.
Absolutely gonna grab that.
So you can grab it. So
But
where are
I'm
you
gonna
guys-
I'm gonna like I am going to I'm getting off the objective. Like I do not want to be this spot anymore. So like I'm not gonna read this just here. Find a place tucked away to read it.
So yeah, so you can either find one of these buildings. There are these large warehouse buildings. Where do you guys want to go? And is your goal just to find a place and wait for Gibbs, or is anyone else going to look around as well?
Should we investigate the castle proper? Like the keep part?
You could head towards it. Yeah.
Because my worry is if they are bringing in supplies and they have brought them here, then possibly they might be building another door. So it's good idea to lock it down on both sides if this is the case.
Anna is with you. She's like, you should speak with my father.
Well, where is your father?
Well, the vehicles are by the statue. He must be around.
Let's
Let me
be
go. I will find him.
absolutely not. We're not gonna just let you go.
Before we load up, I'll go over to one of the vehicles since we're not seeing any movement or anything.
Oh, you're going to go towards the center of town?
Oh, isn't that where we are already? Or...
Oh, sorry. You're up here, right here, in this area.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Yeah, it's just parked there. Sorry, Gibbs would have took off kind of in through here, and I'm assuming, unless you guys did go forward, but the actual bodies, they're just kind of set up in a line along this ridge area.
Well, in
I
that case,
see.
I'll use the sniper rifle and kind of scope the vehicles.
Yeah, you can see the vehicles. You don't notice anyone, but after watching for a few minutes, you can see this building here you can see 2 Odessa operatives come out, and they light up a smoke.
I kind of like motion to Jim.
They will smoke it and then just kind of go back inside. They look fairly casual.
We got movement. 2. They do not look like soldiers.
No, they sorry, they look like the Odessa operatives, like the guys that you run into already.
Okay.
But they have their back levels open. They would have their rifles. You know what? They might not even be carrying their rifles. They'd have their sidearms because they're just going out for a smoke.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Well.
So
Jim is going to pull out his binoculars.
yep.
And he's going to look around that area as well. Is that the only entrance exits to that place?
Sorry, the one where the 2 operatives are?
Yeah.
No, there'll probably be a couple of different entrances into the building.
Okay. Well.
After they smoke, they'll chat for a bit and go back inside.
We could go in and storm the place.
Anna goes, "No, aren't you listening to me? I can reason with my father."
I point to the the crucified things. I'm like, you think you can reason with these?
Do you so Niamh, you have that? What do you do with that little journal?
If they're, I'm just gonna find a quiet, kind of hidden spot in case anyone sneaks up on us while I'm reading. But while they're doing their thing, I'm just gonna do what I can to get as much information from this as possible.
So what's your move, Jim and Maxim? Are you just gonna wait for Gibbs to do his recon before you make a move to have the extra firepower, or are you going to head towards the castle?
We were supposed to wait. We were supposed to meet Gibbs in an hour.
Yeah, at these buildings.
If we want to approach this building, I don't feel comfortable trying to reason with feral Nazis. Especially if there's some sort of large being that could be around that could be called to aid them. Perhaps we investigate somewhere else before we take that on.
Okay.
Do you want to kind of like start clearing out buildings like along the way here?
On your way to
as
where
like coverage,
Yep.
kind of breach and clear ish.
Yep. Is that agreeable to you, Jim?
It works for me as long as everybody is quiet about it.
So you can move from building to building. As I mentioned earlier, this place is abandoned. A lot of the doors are open, filled with kind of sand or dirt. You will see maybe a few of those bugs skittering around. But this place is a ghost town. You will see signs of doors that were kicked in. So there's signs of violence where basically the doors were kicked in. Occupants taken maybe in the middle of the night. Something definitely, while this at one point might have been a Nazi facility, it is no longer their domain. Something happened, something terrible. And again, those crucifixions are some evidence as to maybe the fate that everyone here possibly suffered. But you don't run into any Odessa agents. You don't run into any sign as to what might have been responsible. So as you move, oh, sorry.
I was gonna say, so the only sign of life is that building that we saw.
That's right. Yeah, that's it. And you guess. So what happened here happened a long time ago, decades and decades, maybe in the 50s or 60s. So whatever they had built here, and this is all human construction. This is all, you see the Nazi symbology. You'll see the German design. I mean, essentially, this was set up as some type of base, but it has long since been used for anything of note. When you arrive at these warehouses, you can, so I will actually drag you over. Again, they have a deserted look. As you enter, you can see that there is actually inside one is this large kind of jet fighter bomber in that location. There's also crates, and some of them are just open, and the contents are spilled out, essentially gold. Just kind of to one side. There's equipment, there's a workshop here. Nothing has been used in decades. So Niamh, the book, there is something in the back of the warehouse that's draped in a large tarp.
Maxim will run over and... am I seeing any signs of anyone in here? Can I do like an observation?
Nothing
or?
at all. There's no power. So nothing. You're just kind of looking around. Again, this place has a very haunted feel to it. It's basically a glimpse into history, but there's no life here.
All right, so he'll run over and untarp it.
Yeah, so you can head over and you can start to untarp it, and as you do, it is an atomic bomb.
Holy shit!
And at that point, Niamh, you are reading the journal, which, and unfortunately, I didn't load it in, so I will read it to you in the voice of the Nazi wrote. November 25th, 1954. They came for Eichmann last night. They dragged him screaming to where the Thule were waiting for him. That makes 20 in the past week. I'm starting to feel like Oberst Gruppenführer Metzger has been lying to us all along. 1,000 years of life, dominion over the earth, and limitless power for Metzger maybe, but not for the rest of us. The Thule are only offering a throne to sit on. The rest of us are but food for their dreams, or should I say nightmares. February 2nd, 1955. There were over 2,000 of us when we came through the portal. Now there are less than 500. The Thule's thirst is unquenchable. If we don't get out of here, there'll be none of us left, except Metzger. But where can we go? We are trapped in this hell. April 13th, 1955. That devil Metzger has rounded up all of the weapons and placed them in the warehouses. Schmidt managed to steal one of the fuses for the atomic bomb. He hid it where Metzger would never think to look, in the mouth of that abominable statue. Even though we can't escape, I will be at peace knowing we've killed that bastard and the things that he worships. So you're reading this as they're standing around. You look up from the little journal, and you can see the atomic bomb sitting there.
Yeah, I think I would read that out to them if we're all there.
Will we need fuels, or do you think putting a couple of these babies on it will be good enough to make it go?
Well, I can attest from just training for these types of situations. Typically,
These type of situations? Seriously?
Very convenient.
Specifically, weapons of mass destruction. Yes.
Eliana she goes, I don't think an explosion is enough. You need to activate the charge, which fires the
chemistry is not. If you detonate something that isn't there, it won't blow up. But the chemistry involved is essentially activating the particles.
Just a note, the fuse, you could probably figure out a way to detonate it, which would obviously kill all of you immediately. The fuse is required to time the detonation.
I see.
I suppose it's time to, as they say, go into the mouth of madness.
What? And I'm just kind of, Niamh is musing aloud. What did the Thule eat before humans got here?
I am going to assume whatever they wanted.
But this seems to be a functioning ecosystem.
Eliana, she's like, what are they?
It seems to be an apex predator, I'm assuming. But
I would assume it's the humans of this world.
But if it's...
They're definitely not human, she'll say.
Yeah, there don't appear to be any... I assume you're saying like the human equivalent? Whatever... What's possible? I'm confused why...
I'll look at our prisoner. I'm like, I am going to guess they are not blonde-haired and blue-eyed.
I am confused why we've...
She is actually confused as well. This is obviously a bit news to her. The fact that all of the Nazis here are dead is obviously not what they were hoping for.
Sounds like Grandpapa took knee.
Please, I'm not insane. I know that whatever is here, we don't want to bring back. Let me help.
I'm gonna like, is it an observation to kind of like gauge her
Sure.
state?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
61, but I add. What do I add to that? I add 20, so.
Oh yeah, so you have 70% chance of success. So she appears to be frightened. This revelation, it is not at all what they were looking for. So she appears genuine. I mean, obviously her ideology is greatly in question, but monsters are monsters, or sometimes sometimes even monsters are scared of monsters.
Yeah. What, enemy of my enemy? Is this what you say?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. And I know my father. He would not see rationality in this.
So I'm sorry. Let me just comprehend what is going on here. You are the granddaughter of this supposed king here,
I am.
and your father is trying to make contact with this person.
We came to activate Doug Locke and bring my father home.
Activate what?
Back to
I'm
Earth.
sorry. Activate what exactly?
The Doug Locke. That's the device. The bell.
Is only one on other side, or are you building another here?
No, there's only she says, so far as we know, there's only the one.
Because it sounds like they are trying to bring a bit of this world back to our world, according to everything that we've seen.
We thought we were only saving my grandfather and those that came with him, bringing them back to Earth.
I think your grandfather made new friends.
And sacrificed his old ones.
I will pose a question. Now that we know the situation, what happens if we leave your grandfather to his chosen fate, go back through the portal and disable it on that end, and let whatever situation this is resolve itself naturally, and then this world go back to being untouched by us?
Elianov, she goes, I agree. We don't have to do anything here. We just have to destroy the device on the other end and close the door.
If you say you were just looking for your grandfather, you have found him. However, it seems that he has made a friend that we do not want to meet.
Please, you can't trap my father here.
Your father is... She's going to hold up the journal. I don't want to meet your father either.
Or grandfather, yeah. She's like...
I don't want to meet any of them.
So she looks frightened when... just a check. Do you guys want to do... so we're going to be going towards the... We have about an hour left. Do you want to do a break?
Yeah, we can do a break.
Find the scene.
Quick 5 minutes.
Welcome back to 55 Below Zero and 6 Feet from Hell as we are entering the home stretch. So as our heroes are standing around the warehouse, looking at a nuclear bomb, contemplating their options, and waiting for Gibbs, there is suddenly a doom, doom. It's like a huge echoing sound of a bell rings out from the castle, and it just kind of, and it's in it, and you can almost feel it. It's so loud. There's 3 rings, and followed by a sound of kind of like a grating sound, as if great doors are opening. You can hear that in the distance.
We should definitely go see what that is. Back to the town square.
Yeah.
Elianov will actually, she grabs Lucian's arm and she's like, "You okay, Lucian?"
Oh, great. Just enjoying the giant monster infested nuclear bomb wielding planet full of neo-Nazis. Just here, just doing my job of not doing my job.
Just think about the story you'll be able to tell your kids. And,
You could write the next great sci-fi novel.
you see, Roman has been fairly quiet the whole time as he's looking around, but he's been listening. Jim, you kind of notice right now, he's been paying a lot of attention to the exchange between you that you were having with Maksim. And you can see it in his eye. Roman is like, this can't. You kind of get the sense if he could throw himself on that nuclear bomb and detonate it, he probably would. As he's just kind of, he realizes
the single engineer is having ideas. Let's remember that. Roman, in due time, seeing him eye the nuclear device. Not right now, please. Let's go see what's going on.
That's fuse, he'll say.
Yes.
So as you you can leave the warehouse and head over into the buildings. You can see the bell has stopped, but the gates, these gates here, have opened. So you can get, I'll say you can get into position. I'm not going to require you a roll as long as you don't do like a hiding roll, as long as you don't do anything, because you can actually get into a building and kind of look out through windows. And again, it's you don't have to really worry about running into anyone as you move between the buildings.
Is it possible to get up on a rooftop?
Yeah, you can do that. Yeah, you can get up on a rooftop. For sure.
Like in one of these buildings here.
Yeah, no problem. You get like a snipe. You can have your sniping rifle or whatever ready. You can be laying low, so you don't make they don't see your outline. You can. The first thing that you'll note is that the Odessa folks have all come out of that building and they're all standing near the statue. So as the bell fades, the great castle gates open, and from your hiding place, you can see hundreds of soldiers dressed in Nazi uniforms, wearing gas masks, are coming out, kind of in formation, out of the castle gates. That causes a bit of confusion because Roman is like, "What? So there are Nazis?" He'll say. However, they are completely silent except for the awkward shuffling of their booted feet. And when I say awkward, they're not exactly, even though they're kind of in a loose formation, it's as if they're not used to walking to some extent. You'll see along the castle wall, more soldiers appear to take up positions. In their midst, kind of at their lead, you see 2 other figures. Actually, 3 figures, and I'll just move the... You can see a middle-aged gentleman, probably in his mid-50s, wearing a Nazi SS uniform. He is marching along with a guy who's wearing basically a modern kind of hiking jacket, canvas pants. Gibbs is with them. Gibbs is actually being held by a couple of these Odessa guys who are kind of flanking Metzger, and they all march in silence down towards the actual statue itself. Roman bristles at the sight. It saves Elianov. They look towards you, Jim, but you realize there's hundreds of these. Anna, I guess to no one in particular, but maybe to you, Niamh, she's like, "That's my father." She'll point, and she points to this gentleman here. All of the Odessa folks look somewhat confused as well. They come out. They are looking around. They're a bit surprised to see the sheer number of soldiers that are there. The gentleman in the Nazi SS outfit, he walks forward towards he kind of gestures towards the statue, and he'll look around, and he looks around. His eyes actually pass over where you're hiding. He obviously doesn't see you, but he's just kind of looking around, but he'll yell out, and his voice is very commanding and it carries. And he goes, "I know you're watching." And he'll say it in English, so you understand. He goes, "Like your friend Lieutenant Gibbs, you are helpless to stop us. You are not an enemy. You are merely a delicacy. As we cherish the gentle pomp of caviar in our mouths, so too do they enjoy the sweet, coppery taste of blood. They do not seek power in the way that we seek power. Their minds are much more elevated and enlightened. They do not dwell on material things. Only their need to feed anchors their minds here. In return for blood, they offer our greatest desires. Even immortality is not beyond our reach. The Thule once relied on Hitler to bring about their utopia, a place where they can dream and harvest. But Hitler failed. I will not." And he'll actually, almost like a preacher, he goes, "Behold, your future masters." And he kind of raises his hands and he steps back, and one of the soldiers steps forward towards Gibbs. He kind of shuffles forward. You can see underneath the German uniform, something moves unnaturally, rising across the torso, up and down the legs and arms. And from beneath the gas mask, you start to hear an inhuman hiss kind of emerging, kind of like one long, raspy intake of breath. You will notice that the Odessa agents, their hands are going towards their guns as they're taking a step back. And as that first kind of soldier emits a hiss, the other soldiers all around start to emit this low hiss as well. Gibbs, he just kind of looks around desperately, but he looks directly at Wolfric, and he's like, he goes, "I don't know what you thought you'd find here, but can't you see this isn't your father? This is beyond madness, Wolfric. You know what happened here. He sacrificed his own men," and he looks out, obviously towards you guys. He doesn't know where you are, but he just kind of desperately looks out around to the buildings. He's like, "They cannot get back to Earth. Do you hear me? If they do, it's over. It's all fucking over." And all of the soldiers, their gas masks will kind of pop off as tentacles emit from underneath the helmets, and they just kind of are emitting this hiss, and the hiss becomes a shrill for that one which is in front of Gibbs, and the uniform literally explodes. The helmet flies off, the gas mask is gone, the uniform is just shredded as this creature leaps out from within, shedding the uniform that it was wearing, and before Gibbs can even react, it completely envelops him in a mass of writhing tentacles. He tries to fight it off, but it just, as soon as it gets its tentacles around him, every breath he takes, it just squeezes and squeezes until you can barely even see him. And then the hiss becomes a sucking noise as it pulsates in and out. And when it finishes, Gibbs, well, there's nothing left of him, but all the juices are gone. Nothing but skin over bone as he collapses. Everyone, including Wolfric and the Odessa agents, all stagger, all kind of are quite shocked at this, as you might be. It's up again. It's up to you. I'm just going on if you want to do anything, but it seems like there may not be anything that you can do, as now you have witnessed what is to come, says Metzger, and he turns. And he walks back, and he'll turn. He says something, not yelling, towards Wolfric, and he starts walking back towards the castle. And all of the soldiers, they'll actually reach down, pick up their gas masks, kind of put them on, and they all just silently return to the castle. You'll note as soon as they get far enough away, one of the Odessa agents has been holding in. He pukes and actually collapses to the ground over what he's seen. This guy immediately comes. You notice him and Wolfric are exchanging words. There's only that one left, which is very lethargic and crawling away from Raymond Gibbs's bodies, whereas all of the others, by the time they get into the castle, it just kind of crawls away. It doesn't even go to the castle. It just crawls into the nearest building and disappears. But very lethargic from its feeding.
Very important question. Which building did it go to?
Roll skull die.
Oh, fuck. I guess that's me, because I asked. 4.
Nothing. It crawled into another building. Alionov.
Not ours.
She's completely stunned. Anna is crying. Roman is just completely silent with but his knuckles are white on the gun.
Niamh, are you still
Harper?
concerned about the local wildlife?
It is an entire planet. I don't know
Luckily,
what to tell
we'll
you.
only be blowing up tiny portion.
One could argue that humans are not so different than that creature on our planet, and yet we work to preserve the rest of it.
Roman will turn to you. He's a bit, he's got an angry voice. He's like, this is beyond danger. We need to do whatever we can to see to it that this ends. And he'll actually get right up in your face and he goes, and if it means genocide for what those things are, then am I wrong to say genocide it is?
I guess it comes down to survival of the fittest. Our genetic code is the only code of consequence. So let's set off the nuke.
What plan do you have? We get back to a portal and destroy on our side and hope that is it? I am honestly asking question.
We don't have any way to communicate with them on the other side to tell them to bring us back to the portal. I think this was a one-way trip.
It's
and
going
we should
to
all...
activate. Sten will activate it. He will.
When?
As long as we're there.
How would he know?
You said 6 hours?
Just going to activate it. He's not going to know. We have preset times. We had a preset time for my father, but he'll activate it as soon as he can to send people through if he must to find me.
They just murdered Gibbs. They know we're here. Do you think we have 6 hours to sit around and twiddle our thumbs? I think at this point we need to question the conviction that we each have.
Roman goes, I will do what must be done. But if we are going to die, I'm going to take that bastard Metzger with me.
We may have to at least consider it plan B. Because if they do not activate it from their end, I mean, they on the other end, they have the key still.
Anna goes, please, my father will see reason in this. Alionov, she is like, why aren't they searching for us?
I'm sure they think we'll come to them.
Do the other, like, you said that the other people that the Odessa agents were all like still kind of like shaken from what they saw, right?
That's right. And there appears, before they disappear inside, there's a pretty heated discussion going on between Wolfric Metzger and I guess his number 2 guy.
We could try and see if she can talk to her father, and I think either way.
Niamh's just gonna like sit down and like lean up against a wall, like just running out of energy. And she's gonna say, and then what? We talk Dad into betraying Grandpa, and we kill these particular Thule, who somehow reached with their minds across time and gave visions of this place.
I am honestly asking you, what would you prefer we do? I am, because honestly, I think we put all cards on table, we all discuss, but we have a time limit.
Eliana, she says somebody needs to make it back. Somebody does.
So you think we have to try and wait 6 hours?
Well, five and change. We'll say it would have been close to Gibbs's time, so we can speed up the time a little bit.
It's like 4 hours, 3.5.
So we just sit, we wait, and then we make our move.
We should
We decide who's going back and who's staying here to set off the bomb.
Well, we can set the fuse. If we get to the fuse, we can set a specific time for the bomb to go off.
I have switch.
Well, the switch won't help us much.
With a mechanics roll, you might be able to rig something up.
Yeah, I'm gonna just look at Harper and be like, that looked like a pretty old bomb. I would not bet the lives of an entire planet on setting a fuse. At some point,
So somebody stays and detonates it manually.
I can stay and do it. I think I would have the skill to do it.
Roman,
Nor do I really want to live.
Roman goes, no, it will be me. They killed my comrades. I want to do this.
He is also the engineer.
Yes, if something needs to be improvised, I am the one that can make it work. So all you must do is get back to that platform. We wait, and then you go. Don't stop.
I just worry that they are expecting time frame to be the same for the gate to open, and let's say they move out the troops to wait for door to open. And we have seen what the troops are.
Goes, Anna, she'll say, they're not gonna, they don't know we're here. Well, she says they don't know, yeah, maybe. I don't know, but.
What are you saying, Maxim?
I threw the switch impulsively. The scheduled time for when the device is to be activated for my father to return is not for some days.
So there's no guarantee that we are getting out.
There is, because Sten's in love with me. Every moment that I am here, he will activate that device as soon as he can, maybe sooner.
So let's get back to base.
We should make sure that everything's set up with the bomb first.
So you can, it's up to you guys. You can just leave the Odessa agents. They're obviously not a thing, but they do have a couple nice vehicles that are a lot faster with miniguns mounted on the roofs than the truck that you brought in. But again, not necessary. You can, you can get the timer of the fuse, but again, technically you don't need it because if Roman is going to stay here, he can just detonate it when it needs to be detonated. So you can just tell him, like, wait. You guys can wait for a couple hours and then make your run for it and say, listen, give us a 15-minute buffer and then let her go.
Okay.
I mean, there's no guarantee that we'll be out of here by then.
We should definitely leave him with a gun.
Yep.
Yes.
And he'll seal and lock the warehouse if you want.
He does have a gun as well.
Yep.
Okay.
Roman, when we leave, what do you think? Wait an hour?
I will let you know that we've left.
He goes, well, he'll say, let us assume that that she is right. He goes, that the timing is going to be as soon as he can activate it. I will give you as long as I can, but a 15-minute buffer.
15 minutes after the activation?
After, well,
supposedly.
yes, or something close. I'm afraid that once you leave, I will have to use my discretion. If you should know, if I am at risk of being discovered, I will have to detonate.
The important thing is the detonation.
Very well. Good
We
luck,
can-
my friends.
We can signal on the radio when activation seems to be happening of the portal.
Radio doesn't work here.
Well, you know
Oh, it
what? You
doesn't?
can't,
Okay.
I told you that it's static. It is. You can actually
Click it.
Yeah, you could click it, even though, or at least you
Okay.
could know that you might not be able to have a full conversation, but you could get something out of it.
We
I'll
could.
get like the beat
we could-
going.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
as soon as the portal activates, we can just.
Yeah. So he'll say, "You let me know, and I will designate it."
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Does he know Morse code?
He does. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, just as soon as like the static comes over the radio, it
Yeah.
should be.
He'll like. Yeah. As soon as you contact me, I'll just know that it's time.
Okay.
Well,
Let's
let's escape a nuclear explosion.
Okay. So we're heading back to the platforms as stealthily as we can.
So the
Well,
question is, are you going to jump in the army truck that you took here with the MG42 mounted on back and head back that way? Is that your?
Assuming that it hasn't been overrun by
It has.
animals at this point.
No. It's essentially just right where you left it.
do we need the fuse?
You don't. You only need the fuse if you wanted to put a timer on it. If the fuse is not required to activate it. So the fact that someone has volunteered, that's fine. So Roman is just there, so he'll just wait.
All right.
So in fact, you don't really need to address the Odessa folks at all, because the fuse is over by the statue, but you can just go. Anna, she is like, I can't leave my father.
Then
But-
have fun. Niamh's so done with her.
You've heard what we're going
You
to do?
stay with the other Nazis and die. That's fine. You'll be right at home. Good luck. We'll tell Stan that you continued to be you.
No, I'm not comfortable with that level of discretion on her father's part.
Yes.
So either you come with us now, or we're going to forcibly bring you.
She's crying, but she'll nod. She agrees, and she'll climb into the back of the truck.
Especially not with someone that we're leaving behind to.
When you
make
say
this
Stan,
happen.
that got her. When you say Stan, she says, "I love him too, and you'll need me to be there so that there's no shooting."
And to close the door and lock it.
Well, that will also might be a forcible thing.
I think either way, we are running out of time. We must get moving now.
Yes,
Okay.
let's go.
So, for the sake of time, we'll say time is not the hour. The hours. They'll just kind of slip by, non-eventful, because again, there's no active search for you, because you're kind of hiding out. But when you get to the vehicle, you can clamber on board and haul out of there. Niamh, are you driving?
Yeah, but before I hop in this car, I'm gonna check every inch of it.
Yep, you can do that.
I
give
don't
me
want any hitchhikers going back to the portal with us.
a few of those bugs will skitter out of the way.
Okay. But yeah, then I'll drive.
Okay, you can be driving. Yeah, no rolls necessary at the moment. So actually, you know what? Give me a. You mentioned that you wanted to try and get away stealthily. Just roll. What's your hiding bonus?
My hiding bonus is just 10.
10. Just give me a roll. I'm not going to tell you the odds.
Never tell me the odds.
Oh. It's a 91. That's my second 91 today.
That's fine.
Why?
So
What's
you
my
your,
can-
dice.
what's-
Switching my
what's your,
dice.
What's your special? Oh, it's the Nancy Drew thing.
Yeah.
So you get in the truck and you start to motor. It's only 5 miles. You're close to the time when the device is going to be activated. This is a tracked, this is a tracked vehicle, so you know, kind of roll around. It does kick up a bit of dust. I'm assuming, Maxim, you were on the MG42.
Yes.
Lucian, what are you doing in all of this?
Through most of it, he's kind of just sat listening, kind of fairly distractedly, looking off at the castle and the giant statue and the bizarre twin suns and beasts that are flying and tentacling around the place, and just kind of sat thinking, I'm in another dimension, on another planet, away from everything I've ever known, with people arguing for entire worlds to be left as they've always been, or to be obliterated, or for who should live and who should die to do these acts that people outside of this truck will ever even remember. And just feeling fairly significant.
Oh, awesome. Very good. And in fact, you picture Robin in your mind as you're thinking.
Exactly. Little sacrifices.
This is a moment where the world is going to be saved without knowing it, and you were here. You were part of the group that saved it. So as you tear along the road, Niamh, you're behind the wheel. Heading back, you can see the rising eagle monument in the distance. And you're rounding the Great Pillar, and you're close. So you're 2.5 miles, about halfway, so 2.5 miles away from the platform. The seconds are ticking past before the device will be activated. When everybody can give me observation rolls, please. Base is 50.
Can we see
15?
the map again?
Oh, of the town, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You've left the town behind, but yeah.
I got an 87.
I'm gonna switch my dice again because I got a 93.
15 for me.
Oh, excellent. I
25.
need to know. So basically, you can fit 3 in the front, and everybody else is in the back, or you can be sitting on top. You can be sitting right on top of it. Where is everybody in the trunk?
I'm in the back, also with a rifle, making sure.
Yeah, I think Maxi might be looking at where he's coming from and not where he's going to.
You're
I'm
in
driving.
The MG42. Niamh is in the front, driving. Who's in the front with you? Where are you at, Lucian?
Yeah, I'll be in the front as well. I'll be up
Okay.
front.
Okay,
Just
you and
Stare out the
Ellie,
window.
you and Eliana are in the front. Everybody else is in the back. Anna's in the back, still tied up, I assume.
Mm-hmm.
And Roman's waiting. So as you round the giant pillar, and it begins to, you see it, Niamh, in the rearview mirror. Jim, you were the first to see it coming up over the mountains in the sky. Behind you, you see black specks closing the distance quickly. And in fact, you quickly realize that they are flying masses of writhing tentacles.
They can fly.
And they can fly. Yep.
Oof.
And you can see, you can probably hear some kind of high-pitched shriek as they're propelling themselves through the air like an octopus would propel itself through the water, traversing winds. You have no idea how, but yeah, they're quickly coming, kind of like gliding down the drafts coming from the mountains, closing in on your position.
How big are these things?
Oh, so they would be about the size of I would say if you're a person, the mouth would be the size of your torso. So not immense, but large enough to be a concern.
I'm gonna look at Harper and just yell, "We don't have time to wait. They will come through with us."
Not if I can help it.
Try to kill them
And-
first.
Isn't there a gun mounted to this truck?
Oh yeah, I've got the big one.
There is, yeah, there's an MG42. So they're basically
Time to shoot some
paralleling-
skeet.
Time for exit strategy.
So as you're halfway between the statue and the platform, you'll see they're quite high in the air. And then all of a sudden, they just kind of do a corkscrew. One of them does a corkscrew spiral and just is diving directly towards the truck. There will be, so it doesn't make sense to have initiative because I guess you're ranged. It's not. But it is spinning and whipping around as it's coming towards the truck. So the odds to hit it I'm reducing it to 10%, which is so fairly challenging. As the others just kind of wait and see what happens. They're kind of floating in the air or whipping along in the air above. So you can roll initiative to see who goes first.
I got an 8 again. Fuck.
I also got an 8.
That's a good roll.
I got a 0, so a 10.
Oh, nice.
But like
And
each
I
time
got
I've made
an
an
8.
yeah, each time I've made initiative, it's been 8 each time.
I know, that's crazy. What'd you get, Lucian?
8.
8. Okay. So just one of them probing, see what happens. It's diving towards you with its shrieking head. Jim, I guess Niamh, you're first, but you're just, I guess you're probably.
I'm driving. I'm just pedal to the metal. Like, I'm just going.
Defensive, I guess. So let's see if Jim and Maksim can take this thing down. 10% plus your firing, that's your odds of hitting it.
Yeah, I've got a 30, but I've upped my odds with rifles to 40. So.
Yeah, you have a 40. Yeah, so you basically you have a 50% chance to hit it, which isn't too bad.
Yeah, and I rolled a 30 even.
Oh,
so.
nice roll. So you let off with the MG42. By the way, an MG42, I should give it to you here. It does 4x10 plus 60. It has a 200 round belt, and essentially the extra damage that you do is the number of bullets fired divided by 2. So if you fired 20 bullets, you do an extra 10. If you fired 50, you do an extra 25, etc. So roll your 4x10, or sorry, yeah, your 4x10 and add 60 to it.
So
I was just gonna say, Jim, I sent you a message on Discord if you could read it. But yeah, go ahead, Maxime.
I think doesn't want to take any chances.
well, I rolled in an 18, so plus 70, you said?
Oh, plus 60. Yeah.
Oh, so 78.
How many rounds you firing out of the gun?
How much does it have? Do I see?
200 round belt.
Yeah, I guess.
But that's it. There's no extra belt.
Yeah, so I just the 20.
Okay.
So that's an extra 10.
So just like and there's probably every third round is a tracer. So you can actually see the tracer rounds firing into the sky as this thing spirals down towards weaving out. The bullets hit its body. You'll see a tentacle fly off. There's definitely, there'll be sprays behind it of its precious bodily fluids as the rounds slam into it. But it still manages to make its way through it's still coming.
Oof.
Yeah, I rolled a 35 and I have a plus 30, so I hit as well.
So you just, as it's getting closer, you can give me your damage roll. If you need it, it's yours is 4x10 plus 40.
Right, and I have burst as well.
That's right. So same rules. You have a 30 round clip. You just decide how many of the rounds you want to fire, and you're going to just so if it's 30 rounds, you'll add. You add one damage for one bullet for every bullet that you fire. So,
Okay.
So you'd add 30 extra points. I'll add that for you, Maxim.
I would say, would it be fair that I would have picked up multiple clips?
Absolutely, yep. These guys,
Okay.
for the assault rifles, you have multiple clips. You probably.
I
Have
just wrote down I have 3 clips.
Yeah.
I'm just using the big one.
Probably between all the Odessa guys, you probably have like a dozen.
Let's see.
So are you just emptying the magazine?
6. 4, 6. I think half the magazine.
Do 15.
So 6 plus 15 is 66 plus 81.
Nice. So basically, the two of you're kind of standing side by side. It's a bit like a scene from Predator, where you're just unleashing into the sky as this thing comes down. And again, dozens of rounds tear into it. It will suddenly, whoop, all of a sudden, the tentacles, which were kind of rigid, whoop, just all of a sudden start dragging behind it. As it does continue its spiral, it's built up a lot of momentum. Niamh, you can see this thing is still going to crash into the truck unless you make a drive roll, which is essentially, it'll make it a base 50%.
Okay. I don't think I even do. I have driving?
I don't
drive.
think we have drive as a stat.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you don't. Okay. Then, sorry.
Technical?
Technical. Yeah.
Oh, technical. Okay, I have 20, and I rolled a 57. Thank God.
Oh, nice. So you kind of swerve, and the thing just hits. You guys looking out the back, you can see the Thule hits the ground and just tumbles. But it is dead, and you leave it behind. The other 5, essentially hovering above, they follow you momentarily, and then all 5 of them go into a death spiral towards the truck. So again, you guys, it's over to you guys. Lucian, actually, Alionov has a gun. She'll probably nudge you, Lucian, because how they're going about it is they split up and they're coming in from many different directions, trying to kind of you might get some of them, but trying to get past.
What Lucian's going to do is kind of, wind the window down on his side.
Yeah,
I assume it's a crank window. Why would it not be?
that's right.
Wind the window down and then look out. Think. Hand the gun off, and then he's going to clamber out the window and onto the roof of the truck.
Oh,
Going, what am I doing? And he's going to crawl up to Maksim and tap him on the shoulder and go, all his hair's as they're diving along, and there's things, and he's like, I couldn't trouble you for that belt and that switch, could I?
The belt and switch?
Oh, the explosives.
It'd be handy right about now.
See, Maxim is on the gun. You can see it's just there. You can grab it.
Yeah.
I'll help myself. You just push the button, do you?
I'm going to say Maxim is distracted.
Okie dokie. And he is going to roll off the top of the car and hit the ground
Champion.
and roll, holding the belt and the button, looking up into the sky.
So these things are predators. They will. Yeah, you know what? That is a brilliant move because just like throwing, just like in Jurassic Park, when you throw the flare, they can be distracted. All 5 of them will immediately shift their direction towards you.
And there we go. Well, at least the useful ones will get back. And I might get to see Robin again. So it's not all bad.
And there'll be an explosion in the rearview mirror as Lucian sacrifices himself, taking out all 5 of the pursuing Thule.
Lucian, no! There's no time to grieve, as up ahead, Niamh. Well, actually, it doesn't really matter. You're not. That's crazy. You're not being cute. But I was going to say, up ahead, you'll see a herd of these things. They were kind of near the road. They were just kind of grazing. The explosion does cause them to stampede. So we might as well have you do a roll. So literally, as you're driving towards the platform, you have to weave in and out of their legs as they just kind of get scared and start running off in a particular direction. Give me a roll.
A 26.
So you weave in and around these things as they basically stampede past and into the distance, and the platform is up ahead. waiting. Silence. Tears on Eliana's face. Even Anna can't believe what just happened. The truck comes. You bring the truck to a stop, and there's just silence. The dust kind of settles.
No time to waste. Let's go.
All right.
Yeah.
Grieve on the other side.
We're kind of at the mercy of this activating from the other side.
Well, we need to get on the platform so that when it does, if it does.
You get out. You get onto the platform, and more specks appear above the mountains, closing quickly towards you.
I imagine like a bunch of them.
Hundreds.
Yeah, it's like they're not fucking around this time.
Because they are psychically connected. They are collective consciousness of dreamers. So you can see literally hundreds of these things suddenly appear over the mountains and are descending towards you. Should we have this come down to dice? Initiative?
I think yes.
I'll say as we get to the platform, Maxime in his hand has the walkie-talkie ready to go.
Oh yeah.
I messaged Phzoul on the side. Niamh is ready. That's what I used my 10 initiative for. She's ready to.
Okay. Well, I mean, this is the thing. They're closing in from all sides. You don't know when this device is going to activate.
If there's no slowing of time happening and they're getting closer,
they're coming in.
Yeah.
Do you detonate the nuke?
Absolutely. If I have to choose one world, then our world is the world of consequence.
Can we we wait like a moment or?
You can. Yeah, they're closing in.
If we wait too long, they'll come through with us.
So you can. So basically, yeah. So are we going?
Where are they in relation to like the halfway point?
I'm gonna say they're there. They're coming in. They're gonna be here in under 2 minutes.
Niamh's just gonna look down and click it.
Okay, you can click it in the distance. There'll be a bright flash, as you can see. The detonation. The question is, are you still there as the energy starts to dance around the platform as the concussion wave is coming in? Who wants to roll?
Okay.
I'll roll.
Yes. No. Let Al roll. Yes.
Al rolls.
I roll to see if you will survive or not.
It's a D6, right?
No. So I thought we would do it to just straight up. Maybe it should be. Oh yeah. Well, I'll let you guys decide. Like it could be a skull.
What do you want me to roll?
So if you roll the 1, you essentially the shockwave hits you before. Yeah, we'll do it that way. That way the odds are in your favor. Or we could just roll initiative. If I roll against it.
I've rolled my d6.
Yeah.
It's a 2.
It's a little too close to a 1.
Just as the wave is about to hit you, the platform activates, and you reappear in at the die Glock. Energy dancing around. Gerber is there with a few of his Odessa agents, but Anna immediately yells out, "No, don't shoot!" And she's like, "We were so wrong, Sten. We were so wrong." And he'll actually, he'll if you let him, he'll go over and just kind of take her in his arms.
How many agents are around us?
2. That's all that's left.
Well, it's just 2.
I'm gonna shoot. Yeah, I'm shooting Jim a look. I'm shooting Jim a look.
Yeah, and the 2 of you just pull the trigger.
No, I don't think so. I think it's more of a stay ready kind of thing.
Okay.
Okay.
And Sten doesn't quite understand, but you can see Aliana. She has tears kind of still streaming down her face because of Maxim. Rush, everything that's happened. I mean, she basically. So Niamh, this is going to come down to you. you can see that while Jim and Maxime have them covered, Anna is kind of standing as Anna embraced. The other two guards are standing there with their guns. Niamh, you notice that Aliana flicks the safety off of her assault rifle.
That's what I was shooting a look to Gib or
Yeah.
for Jim for.
Yeah.
I mean, a little bit. These are the two scientists responsible for this
Right,
machine, and
yeah.
they're guards, and they're Nazis.
But she will looks you in the eyes, kind of for that.
Yeah, I'll nod.
You nod, and she pulls the trigger. As the first round leaves the chamber, Maxime, you pulling the trigger too?
Yep.
Jim?
I guess so.
All right. And the gunshots echo throughout the chamber, and what's left of the Odessa team are cut down, leaving you with Die Glock.
My whole goal from this moment forward is finding notes, research, destroying it all, and safely dismantling this machine in a way that is like it's unrecognizable.
There is an we don't want to go through, but there is an on-site nuclear reactor, which powers DeRice and Die Glock. And she did say that it was vulnerable, like, shoot, if it was damaged while it was activated, it could have some catastrophic effects, or it could explode. You can rig it up to explode if you want with your know-how.
I would love
think
to
we
do
should
that.
this.
Yep.
We should do this.
Okay.
We cannot let Lucian sacrifice
Yeah.
or Roman sacrifice be in vain.
All right. So Niamh, give me. No, you don't need to make a roll. You've got enough XP and stuff, I assume, left.
Yeah, I still got 2 left, so.
Well, you can spend 1 to have this
Yep.
set up, so that as you guys leave you can basically set it up so that essentially the reactor will melt down. Or unless you don't want to go that route, but that's probably the most surefire
Well-
way of making sure absolutely nothing survives.
Listen.
I don't know about nuclear
I don't know
meltdown.
about nuclear meltdown. I would like there to be a large explosion to take out this facility, but like the world is still suffering the effects of Chernobyl,
Yeah.
and Niamh would never ever want to do that.
All right.
Do you
Just-
think the U-boat has active torpedoes?
It actually does. Good thinking.
Okay.
Your
We
explosion-
can we can use just normal explosives. We can deactivate the nuclear reactor.
Yeah.
Take out the nuclear bits.
Yep.
And
And you're
just
going to
destroy the facility.
Destroy the facility. All right.
but not before we collect the notes that Niamh needs.
Okay.
And I
believe
assume
you were-
Eliana would also like to collect some notes.
Yeah, but I'm assuming you were. I got the impression you were collecting them to destroy them, not to.
Yeah, because in my mind, my fear is that we set off some explosions and some paper flutters down with, like, how to create this machine again. And so, like, Niamh's gonna be thorough. Things will be destroyed, like magnets going across hard drives, like things like burning in fire before she even explodes anything.
And you can do a thorough job and set up. Maxim, you and Jim can set up the explosives. You can put a time detonator, get the hell out of there, and there will be a huge explosion, kind of a chain reaction through DeRice. The Glock is detonated, and something weird will happen. So the actual explosion is big enough. It kind of shocks you a bit that essentially the ice shelf itself cracks and kind of ice gets, the explosion kind of goes up into the sky, sending, chunks of ice hurtling into the air. And then all of a sudden, everything slows down. And the explosion and the flame and the ice literally come to a stop. And there's kind of momentarily frozen in midair. And then it just gets drawn back in on itself. Kind of like Sauron kind of like the Witch King in Lord of the Rings. And it literally gets everything within like 500 yards of their rice, which you guys are not. I assume you'd be at a safe distance. Everything basically gets shrunk back into something the size of an atom, and all that's left is essentially a crater,
Okay.
as it is gone.
Well, that's one way to get rid of evidence.
Elionov is like, so what now? We forget about this?
Now, I think we round everybody up and we take the plane out of here.
What about everyone at Ross?
That's
Yeah,
what I'm
we
saying.
still have
Okay.
some cleaning up to do.
But also, there are non-indigenous flora and fauna here, so we need to make
You need
a
to
very
get
quiet attempt to
form the
destroy
government.
them.
You need to get this place secured.
Yeah.
Your job is done.
Yeah.
So that brings us to the end. So listen, because of Lucian's sacrifice, we will actually, in honor of Lucian's sacrifice, we will have a happy ending where essentially your group can secure the area. You can get on with your lives. However, that was not the intent to have a happy ending. So I will go through the ending that as it was originally written, which is you return to Ross. You basically get back to Ross Station. You'll find that the power is out. The place appears to be abandoned. No one around. As you enter the facility, you'll see signs of a battle, struggle, things knocked, things in disarray. But again, no sign of everyone until you've checked every last place except for the observation tower, which, as you recall, was smashed in. As you ascend the steps, you can see that it's partially filled with snow, and you initially don't see anyone as your flashlight beam flashes over. What you realize, to your horror, is what used to be Russell. His body, he is completely mummified, desanguinated, I guess, reduced to nothing more than dry husk of skin over bone.
In a familiar way that we saw recently.
And as you pan the light around the room, you notice the remains of all the others that were left behind. And Eliona goes, "My God, the peripheral gates phenomenon. Some of the Thule must have come through with us." And in that moment, you hear a now terrifyingly familiar inhuman hiss behind you, and that's where it would have. But no, because of Lucian, you get a happy ending.
We go. We successfully clean everything up. We get the government in. Teams come in. We clean it all up. There's no secret government agency trying to hoard away secrets because we already nuked the evidence into a little crater.
An amazing job. And it wasn't a TPK. I thought maybe when Lucian got killed, and again, it could have been if we had I wanted to build in the possibility of a true TPK. There was a 1 in 6 chance that happened, but
I tried my best.
Narrative dice roll.
So that is crazy. Anyway, good job, everyone. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed it.
We did it.
Amazing.
I know it took 3 episodes to get.
I'm amazed that we actually survived. So thank you, Lucian.
My stomach is still in knots.
You know what? This is where I have to go back to Lucian. You may like. I thought, I've been too easy on you guys. I put 5 Thule. They have like 200 hit points each. It was going to be a knockdown dragon boat fight right to the platform, and then Al throws me a curveball, and I'm going, what can I do? But I can't now that be for nothing, right? Because I have to tell you, I was fully expecting anyone else to do that. Possibly, I was not expecting.
I was considering it. I was honestly considering it.
Lucian to do
Well, it was Luca 2 weeks ago. It was Ty last week. It's you this week. Like, I just can't play a normal game. GMs just have to put up with me. I'm sorry. This happens. It just happens. You have a nice plan. You got a nice ending that you want to have. No, I'm here now. So,
listen, I admire the strive for absolute utter chaos.
Yeah. You just got biffed.
Yeah,
I
I have to say, very interesting story arc for Lucian, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Unexpected. I love it when a player
when we put the idea together in episode 1, that was not how I thought it was going to go. But that's why we play the games. Because if you knew what was going to happen, why would you bother playing it?
Yeah, that's awesome. That is. Okay. Before I guess we'll go around and do introductions. But I wanted to. I'm actually putting in a tip myself. And Cole, if you're listening or whatever, you guys are on staff. Make sure that's divided up amongst the players there.
Oh my gosh.
Just thank you so much.
Phzoul! No!
Thank you so much.
What are you doing?
For
No,
participating in this.
Phzoul!
Listen, I do focus groups for a living. If it was a focus group, you get paid. So it's fine. And I know it was a longer time commitment than.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
I just saw. Wow.
Anyway, really appreciate it, and thanks for chat for hanging in. And so I guess we'll go around and do sign-offs.
Hi! I'm Luke Locke, and I played Niamh Millar, the microbiologist. I'm glad she survived, though. She was willing to just nuke herself and everyone to save the planet. But it's good that she survived. If you want to catch more stuff that I'm in, I am in playing my fighter werewolf in Beyond the Undergrowth. This Tuesday, I'm running Dark Echoes, our Curse of Strahd group. This Saturday morning, where we left on kind of a cliffhanger, and then I'm playing Bird in Bard's Refrain, my sweet bird that's so broken, this Saturday evening, and then we've got Swift and Vicious, the Fast and Furious one-shot happening Sunday morning, in which I am playing the character based on Hobbs, so I'm going to be Dwayne The Rock Johnson, and my goatee is magnificent. And then I am in Atrium of Aquarius, which is our Altered Carbon campaign starting Monday, and I'm very excited. And I play Phaedra. And then we are running Harper's on Tuesday. It's a busy week for me. So stick around and catch me literally everywhere. And on to you, Al.
Thanks. Oh, that's exciting. Lots of bits.
So
Lots of
many.
chaos. Good luck. Hopefully some of them survive. Unlike poor Lucian Abigail Popperweight, who, I think he learned something, which is more than I expected. So I'll take that. Perfect. But yeah, if you fancy more ridiculousness in space, then you can catch me tomorrow evening here on TPK for the next episode of our Destroyer of Worlds campaign, our aliens-based TTRPG, where I'm playing the field medic. So hopefully I won't be blowing myself up, but rather repairing other people. That's the plan, at least. We'll see how that goes, because that's equally as chaotic and horrific. So we'll make it through that as we can. But otherwise, you can catch me here on TPK or over on my own channel, twitch.tv/Alabiffa. And I'll leave it there and hand over to Ty.
Everyone, I'm Tyrant. You can find me everywhere at Dr. Tyrant. I played Jim Harper, who was a good character. I enjoyed playing a CIA agent. Thank you, David, for allowing me to step into that role. It was definitely interesting, and I, obviously have a lot of material to base a character like that off of, so thank you. As for what I'm in, I'm really not in anything this week until Saturday morning, Dark Echoes, returning to the mists of Barovia to face the consequences of my chaos, where I did a ritual spell inside of a corrupted ancient like holy site, and something was summoned. I don't know. We're gonna find out what happens. And then I will be returning on, or not this Monday, but next Monday will be the start of Atrium of Aquarius, which I will let David talk about because it is his campaign. But super excited to step into all the Altered Carbon universe, Blade Runner universe, and get started in that campaign. It's going to be a lot of fun. And then Tuesday, not this Tuesday, but next Tuesday, return for Harper Investigations. I have not abandoned. I've abandoned my character Luke. I wasn't having fun playing him, but I'm bringing a brand new character. He's going to be a lot of fun. He is like. Imagine Uncle Iroh. That's about it. In the meantime, this week I won't be on TPK, but I will be on my personal channel here on Twitch at Dr. Tyrant. I will be streaming most likely every night from Tuesday to Thursday, and then possibly some days before or after that. Playing through Life is Strange right now. It's an incredible story, kind of time, space bending kind of game. So we're having a lot of fun with that. But let's kick it on over to Ikaj.
Hey folks, Ikaj the Orc here is playing Maksim Syuznik, my Russian action hero character. Honestly, if Al didn't jump off the truck with the explosives, that was my next move. But he made it to the end, and hopefully he's looking for a job at the CIA if he can get a good word in now. But yeah, this has pretty much been something I've been looking forward to. I'm glad that we were able to bring the story to a close, and I can't wait to see what Phzoul comes up with next with his next route. As for me, as it is right now, I don't have a lot going on. You can find me on Twitter at Ikaj the Orc. Maybe sometime soon I'll find a way to sneak myself into another game.
Awesome. Well, definitely, I can see that in the future for sure. Thank you so much, everyone, really participating. It is, I always appreciate praise, but I know that for me, all games suck without the players. It's really them that make, like you guys sit there to be GM by me, but I actually sit here to just enjoy all of the curveballs and shenanigans, whatever that you throw my way. So that is awesome. As everybody mentioned, I am going to be GMing my first campaign on TPK. I know that I've kind of built a reputation for one-shots, but believe it or not, I don't normally do one-shots in my normal gaming things. It is all campaigns, and that, in my mind, is I'm really looking forward to it because the characters that people have come up with have been so inspiring. I mean, I think and the cosplay is going to be amazing. But I think every time, literally, one of you has posted something on Discord, I've been like, oh my God, I'm running to my computer and I've been making notes, changing things. So I actually had the entire first session written before I knew any of your characters, and I have since gone back and have had to rewrite it, and that's the amazing thing. So I'm really looking forward to it. More details to come, but it will be a good ride. I'll promise. And good character stuff, character driven, which is hard to do in one shot. So I think that's it for me. I think that's the next thing I'm doing. Definitely more one shots. I've got tons of these things kicking around. Whenever we can find a time in the schedule, I'll absolutely maybe another Star Wars one, maybe another horror one. Who knows? In fact, I'll take suggestions if people have favorite scenarios or situations. Feel free to drop me a note on Discord, and I'll see what I can do. I think I have one written down for you, Tyrant, the Old Republic. But other than that, I think that's it. So I guess I'll be signing off. If I don't know if any of you guys noticed, but I've been swatting at the whole game. I was swatting at my feet because say goodbye to Paxton here.
Oh, bye, Paxton.
He was scratching at my leg for like the last half of the game, and I was like, "Would you go away, go away?" But anyway, so say hello, Paxton, to everybody.
Hi, Paxton.
You're now famous. And thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll see. Stay safe, and we'll see everyone soon.
All right. Bye, everyone.
See ya.